check 1 2 3. Mic check. Hello.
Namaste, a very warm good morning to one and all. We, Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence and Ramakrishna Mutt, Hyderabad, welcome you all to the National Level Healthcare Conference on the role of Ramakrishna Mission and Healthcare Services in Rising New India, and for the 125th anniversary celebrations of the foundation of Ramakrishna Mission. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our esteemed guests to the dais. May I now request our Adhyaksha Maharaj, Swami Bodhamanandaji, to accompany Swami Satyeshanandaji Maharaj, Swami Kripakaranandaji Maharaj, Swami Dayadipanandaji Maharaj, as well as Dr. Ravindra Kole sir and Dr. Sumita Kole ma'am to the dais. We also invite Sir Ravinder Rao Garu, founder Yashoda Hospitals, onto the dais, as well as Dr. Santosh Garu and Dr. Balasubramaniam Garu from Bengaluru, and Dr. Surendra Reddy Garu from Arogya Bharati, Hyderabad, onto the dais. We request Dr. Prashant Garg Garu, Director, LVPEI, Hyderabad, to the dais. Thank you, everyone. May I now request our monastic members of the mutt to invocate the blessings of the God through prayer and opening song. May I now request Swami Siteshanandaji Maharaj and our monastic brothers to start the proceedings with an opening song.
श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं महागणपतये नमः। प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामविद्यवतु आनो दिवो बृहतः पर्वताधा सरस्वती यजतागन्तु यज्ञं वाग्देव्यै नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। सङ्घमन्त्रः। ॐ सङ्गच्छध्वं संवदध्वं सम्भो मनांसि जानतां देवाभागं यथा पूर्वे सञ्जानाना उपासते। समानो मन्त्रः समितिः समानी समानं मनः सह चित्तमेषां समानं मन्त्रमभिमन्त्र एव समानेन हविषा जुहोमि। समानी व आकूतिः समाना हृदयानि वः समानमस्तु वो मनो यथा सहसति। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता हिया सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित् सुख स्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। चेतन देव की सेवा करो, चेतन देव की सेवा करो, नर जन्म सफल हो जाए तुम्हारो जन्म सफल हो जाए, तुम्हारो जन्म सफल हो जाए। चेतन देव की सेवा करो, चेतन देव की सेवा करो, नर जन्म सफल हो जाए तुम्हारो जन्म सफल हो जाए, तुम्हारो जन्म सफल हो जाए। घट घट पूरण एक निरंजना, घट घट पूरण एक निरंजना, द्वैत भाव सब दूर निवारो, घट घट पूरण एक निरंजना, द्वैत भाव सब दूर निवारो, चेतन देव की सेवा करो, नर जन्म सफल हो जाए तुम्हारो जन्म सफल हो जाए। हृदय अंदर मंदिर माही, हृदय अंदर मंदिर माही, जगमग ज्योत जगे उजियारो, हृदय अंदर मंदिर माही, जगमग ज्योत जगे उजियारो, चेतन देव की सेवा करो, नर जन्म सफल हो जाए तुम्हारो जन्म सफल हो जाए। प्रेम पुष्प से पूजन कीजे, प्रेम पुष्प से पूजन कीजे, मन दीपक धर ध्यान विचारो, प्रेम पुष्प से पूजन कीजे, मन दीपक धर ध्यान विचारो, ब्रह्मानंद उलट सुरती को, ब्रह्मानंद उलट सुरती को, ब्रह्मानंद उलट सुरती को, ब्रह्मानंद उलट सुरती को, कर दर्शन भव बंधन टारो, ब्रह्मानंद उलट सुरती को, कर दर्शन भव बंधन टारो, चेतन देव की सेवा करो, चेतन देव की सेवा करो, नर जन्म सफल हो जाए तुम्हारो जन्म सफल हो जाए, तुम्हारो
May I now request our Adhyaksha Maharaj Swami Bodhamananjadi to accompany our esteemed guests to invocate the light of knowledge by lighting the lamp and praying choral tributes to the Ramakrishna Swami Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Swami Bodhamanandaji. I request Swami Bodhamanandaji to accompany our chief guests to light the lamp and pay choral tributes to the Holy Trail. I also request Dr. Krishna Mohan sir to join our guests in lighting the lamp. Thank you, guests. Thank you, Maharaj. May I now request Swami Bodhamanandaji, Adhyaksha Maharaj of Ramakrishna Math, Hyderabad, to welcome the gathering.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् सर्वस्तरतु दुर्गाणि सर्वो भद्राणि पश्यतु सर्वसद्बुद्धिमाप्नोतु सर्वस्सर्वत्र नन्दतु जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। Offering my humble salutations to the Holy Trinity in the form of Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharda Devi and Swami Vivekananda. My warm greetings, namaskars to all the esteemed guests and brother monks who have come for this very important national level conference on Ramakrishna Mission and the healthcare in 21st century rising New India. Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission, or should be precise, the Ramakrishna Mission, is celebrating 125th anniversary of its foundation, which was registered on 1st May 1897 by Swami Vivekananda himself. What it was in a dilapidated house in Baranagar area of Kolkata is now nearly 300 plus branches serving the humanity in every aspect of the society, of life. And today we are on the threshold of something very big in the next 25 years of our country's progress. So to commemorate this great event, what all activities that the Ramakrishna Mission has taken up through the inspiration and guidance of Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother and Swami Vivekananda. One of the main areas of service is the health care of the country. So in what way Ramakrishna Mission and the Ramakrishna Mutt centers in the recent past have been involved in taking care of the health of these people, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and Gujarat to Northeast. We will be discussing in the next few hours today. For this, we have invited some of our brother monks who are doctors by qualification, profession, but monks by passion. So there in front of you, that is the connectivity with the medical fraternity of Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission. We have nearly about 20 or 25 doctors who have renounced their personal life for the welfare of humanity. Bahujana Hitaya, Bahujana Sukhaya. So we have with us in the center Swami Satyeshanandaji, who is the Assistant General Secretary of the Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission, who grew up in the Ramakrishna Mission compound itself in the school, then later did his medical studies, and inspired by Sri Ramakrishna Mother and Swamiji, joined the Ramakrishna Order. We have Swami Kripakarananda, another doctor by profession. He is the secretary of the only hospital in the entire Arunachal Pradesh called the Ramakrishna Mission Hospital, started in 1979 by the then Prime Minister. So he is in charge of it. And then we have Swami Daya Deepananda, who is a diabetes specialist, a doctor by profession again from Belgaum, joined the Ramakrishna Order, worked in Ramakrishna Mission Sevashrama in Kankal, Haridwar, the first hospital of the Ramakrishna Mission. Inspired by Swami Vivekananda, his disciples started it. And now he has moved recently to Ramakrishna Mission Hospital in Mumbai. We have a 70-bed hospital there, so he is the medical superintendent. We welcome all my three brother monks and welcome them and invite them to share their ideas on this historic occasion. We have with us Dr. Ravindra Kole and Dr. Smitha Kole, Indian social activists and doctors working for tribal people in remote village areas of Bairghar in Melghat region, Amaravati district, Maharashtra. They are popularly called 1 rupee doctors, given their entire life for the tribals and rural people of the country. 2019, they have been conferred the Padma Shri by the government of India. for their remarkable service for the tribals. They have come all the way from Maharashtra to be with us. We welcome them and pray for their health and strength and inspire the younger generation and younger medicos of this country. We have with us Dr. Balasubramaniam, who has come all the way from Bengaluru. Last 3 years he was with the Health Ministry in Delhi, traveling length and breadth of the country, building up the hospital medical care service in the rural areas through the Government of India. So he is with us from his childhood under the Ramakrishna Mission banner in Mysore. We have with us so many other doctors. Prashant Garg, he is the director of L.V. Prasad Eye Institute in Hyderabad, which is the famous one. So he is representing the healthcare sector of the country. And we have Sri Krishna Mohanji, Dr. Krishna Mohanji, who is representing Bharat Biotech. We are very grateful for Bharat Biotech. Padma Bhushan Krishna Ella and his wife have, in a very short time, against so many diverse forces, gave us the vaccine during the pandemic time. So he is representing Bharat Biotech as the executive director. And we have with us so many other doctors who will be joining in the next couple of hours. We welcome all of them. We welcome each one of you, the medicos, the doctors, the devotees, volunteers who have come, and the teachers from various schools. Somebody asked me, what will the teachers get from this medical conference? I told their principal, who knows, your students may become Bharat Ratna doctors in the future. You inspire them to teach well, you inspire them to become good doctors, good human beings, and serve the society. Teachers, 3 people are very important in any society. That is my principle. One is the teachers, the Vidya. The other is the doctors, the Vaidya. The third is the Dharmadhikaris, the judges. Remove 3 of them, society will crumble to pieces. Without knowledge, without health, and without dharma. So these 3 are stakeholders. And we in Ramakrishna Mission bring all the 3 together and bring the public together. That is the purpose of this conference. So Swami Vivekananda's experience in India, traveling for 4.5 years before going to America, seeing the miserable condition of the poor people of the tribal areas, and he himself was a victim of diseases sometime in the north, and he found what have we done to mankind? What have we done to our brothers and sisters? So he said, the monks will come out of their meditation. Monks will come out of their pujas and serve man as God. That is the greatest song which we just now heard. Chetan Devaki Seva Karo Janma Safala Ho Jai. Who is in front of you? The living God. Matra Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atiti Devo Bhava, we know. But Vivekananda gave us 3 more gods for the younger generation, for the medical service. Daridra Devo Bhava, Rogi Devo Bhava, Murkha Devo Bhava. That these be your living gods for the next 50 years and wipe the Mother India's tears, feed the orphan's mouth, and give the Rogi Narayan the medicines and the other things which is required for the nation to develop and for our own spiritual growth. So, and there is another interesting thing by the Government of India, a grand vision of Heal in India and Heal by India. One of the several initiatives of the Health Ministry has been taken up to make our country self-reliant in health care and disease-free. 125 years ago, in his letters and lectures, Vivekananda invited or wanted this. He gave a call to the youth and the health industry. What did he say? We want muscles of iron, nerves of steel, inside which dwells the mind of the same material, like that of a thunderbolt. Healthy mind in a healthy body. The life is short, the vanities of the world are transient, and they alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive. This is a letter which Vivekananda writes from America to the Maharaja of Mysore and awakened the entire nation towards health, care, and spiritual service also. So from 1900 till 2023 and next 1,500 years, many hospitals and all the details will be shown to you in a short while. The work and the expansive intensity service of Ramakrishna Mission Medical, and at the same time collaborating with the government, in India, in different states, and collaborating with the volunteers and medical service institutions like LV Prasad or Bharat Biotech or the other hospitals connected with us. So let us all participate for peace, joy, strength, and wellness of the people. So we welcome each one of you. Have a joyful learning. Every session will be important. Don't worry about the Madhya Pradesh Puja, which is called lunch. Okay, that is also will be taken care of, because we cannot teach metaphysics to hungry stomachs. So after 2 sessions, there will be a lunch break, and then we have this role model session from Dr. Smita Khole and Ravindra Khole, highly inspiring, how they have dedicated their life for the welfare of the tribals of this great country, of our motherland. So once again, namaskars to all of you, and have a inspired medical service. And today, all the diseases will be deleted because of the medical waves that are prevalent in this atmosphere today. So keep away from diseases and make yourself healthy to serve the motherland. Thank you very much. Namaskar to all of you.
Thank you, Maharaj, for the warm welcome and for introducing the today's program to our audience. I would invite the students of Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, Ramakrishna Math, Hyderabad, to recite teachings of Swami Vivekananda on service to the nation.
Hello.
Over a century ago. Over a century ago, Swami Vivekananda envisaged a national regeneration.
His thought and efforts were never for himself, but always for the good of many and happiness of many. Who could withstand Swamiji's clarion call for action, for purity, sincerity, and selfless love were what his call demanded.
Today, on this auspicious occasion, we, the students of VIHE, are blessed to present few teachings of Swami Vivekananda.
Call upon the sleeping soul and see how it awakes. Power will come, glory will come, goodness will come, purity will come, and everything that is excellent will come when this sleeping soul is roused to self-conscious activity.
Let us question ourselves. Are we made only to stay in the narrow holes? Swamiji says no. He proclaims, come out of your narrow holes and have a look abroad. Come on to the practical field with a tremendous amount of energy to work in the fullness of strength.
All great undertakings are achieved through mighty obstacles. Hold the ideal 1,000 times, and if you fail 1,000 times, make the attempt once more.
Strength, O man, strength, says the Upanishad. Stand up and be strong and strike off thy fetters.
Swamiji gave great importance to health. Swamiji says, you will be nearer to heaven through football than through the study of Gita.
He exhorts, make yourself a fit agent to work. Make your nerves strong. What we want are muscles of iron and nerves of steel, inside which dwells a mind of the same material as that of which the thunderbolt is made.
It has been 125 years since our prestigious organization, the Ramakrishna Math and Mission, has been a beacon of guiding light to the modern world. Atmano mokshartham jagat hitaya cha, for one's own salvation and for the welfare of all.
This has been the pathway in which Swamiji has been guiding us. So today, let us learn how to serve from Swamiji himself. Swamiji says, they alone live who live for the others. The rest are more dead than alive. Swamiji expounds, whenever you're doing any work, do not think of anything beyond. Do it as a worship. as the highest worship and devote your whole life to it for the time being.
Do you know what awakens the power within us?
Even doing the least good for others awakens the power within. Even thinking the least good of others gradually instills into the heart the strength of a lion.
Feel, my children, feel. Feel for the poor, ignorant, and the downtrodden. Feel until your heart stops and your brain drills. You will think you will go mad. Pour out your soul at the Lord's feet, and then will come power, help, and indomitable energy.
100,000 men and women, fired with the zeal of holiness, fortified with eternal faith, and nerved to a lion's courage, due to their sympathy for the poor, ignorant, and downtrodden, will go over the length and breadth of the land, preaching the gospel of salvation, the gospel of help, and the gospel of social rising up.
Lay down your comforts, your name, fame, position, nay, even your lives. Arise, awake, for your country needs this tremendous sacrifice. It is the young men that will do it. The young, the energetic, the strong, the well-built. For them is the task.
Anything that makes you weak, physically, mentally, intellectually, and spiritually, reject it as poison.
Swami Vivekananda, in setting his Indian work in motion, was intent to see that it would not stop until the goal was reached. It is not the work of a day, and the path is full of the most deadly thorns. Therefore, to succeed, you must have tremendous will, tremendous perseverance. I will drink the ocean, says the persevering soul. At my will, mountains will crumble up. Have that sort of energy, that sort of will. Work hard, and you will reach the goal.
Let us all work hard, my brethren. This is no time for sleep. On our work depends the coming of the India of the future. She is there ready, waiting. She is only sleeping. Arise and awake and see her seated here on her eternal throne, rejuvenated, more glorious than she ever was, this motherland of ours. Please repeat. Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavaran, Nibodhata. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached.
Thank you, students. That was a powerful performance taking forward Swamiji's message, life building, man making, and nation building.
Hello? TV on ji. Wait. Now we will have a video recorded message from the General Secretary Maharaj of the Ramakrishna Math and Mission, Srimad Swami Suviranandaji. He is the executive head of the entire Ramakrishna Math and Mission, man of tremendous discipline, values, and educationist, right from his joining days of the Ramakrishna Order in Arunachal Pradesh. Then he was in Devagar. Then he served as the Assistant General Secretary. Now, since the last 6 years, he is the General Secretary of the Ramakrishna Math and Mission. On our request, he has sent this special recorded message from Belur Math in Kolkata. Please play.
Dear Bodhomayananda, I am very glad that you have planned a national level seminar on the role of Ramakrishna Mission in the healthcare in India as part of the 125th anniversary celebrations of the Ramakrishna Mission to be held on 1st July 2023. You have also requested for a video message from me suitable to the occasion. I gladly do so. While founding the Ramakrishna Mission on 1st May 1897, Swami Vivekananda underscored its object as propagation of the principles propounded by Sri Ramakrishna and illustrated by his own life for the benefit of humanity and to help humankind in the practical application of those principles in meeting their spiritual, intellectual, and physical needs. The period between 1870 and 1920 has been called the Age of Famines and Epidemics in British India. Epidemics of plague, cholera, and influenza, along with rampant malaria and tuberculosis, claimed well over 30 million lives during this period. 10 million people were estimated to have died in the two famines only between 1896 and 1899 alone. The death rate in India during this period hovered between 40 and 50 per thousand, nearly equaling the birth rate, and the average lifespan of an Indian was only 20 years. Given this situation, attending to the physical needs of the masses was the urgent task before the Ramakrishna Mission, and this it did promptly and efficiently. Within 3 months of starting the Ramakrishna Mission in 1897, Swami Vivekananda was writing to an American acquaintance, I quote, "Only one idea was burning in my brain, to stir the machine for elevating the Indian masses, and that I have succeeded in doing to a certain extent. It would have made your heart glad to see how my boys are working in the midst of famine and disease and misery, nursing by the mat bed of the cholera-stricken pariah and feeding the starving Chandala, and the Lord sends help to me and to them all." Unquote. These emergency relief measures soon evolved into permanent centers of service, attending to indigent, helpless, profoundly ill, and undernourished men and women, widows and orphans, among the others. These centers, the most important of which were at Varanasi, Sargachi, Konkal, and Vrindavan, were termed Sevasramas, or homes of service, and have had a distinguished history of service spanning nearly 125 years. Each of these centers has been run by men and women who served with singular dedication to bring the best available comprehensive care to the most needy in a spirit that is best termed worship. This history makes for instructive and inspiring reading that all youth involved in or aspiring to serve in the health sector can peruse with profit. As the Ramakrishna Mission activities continue to grow and spread in the early decades of the 20th century, its monastics and workers kept on stepping forward to attend to the health and other needs as per local requirements. Thus, working in the remote Khasi Hills in Meghalaya in the 1920s, Swami Prabhananda, more popularly known as Ketoki Maharaj, introduced homeopathic and biochemic medicines to manage diseases in areas where doctors found it difficult to come by, and also improved methods of potato cultivation to augment the nutritional and economic needs of the tribal population. The maternity and child care hospital, Ramakrishna Mission Shishu Mangal, was started in Kolkata, then Calcutta, in 1932 to bring the latest care to this most needy group, and has since grown into a multi-specialty hospital and postgraduate medical institute. The TB clinic, started at Delhi in 1933, was the first of its kind in the national capital and one of the first in India to provide non-sanatorium-based care for tuberculosis patients in the pre-antibiotic era. Later, a TB sanatorium was started at Ranchi in response to high prevalence of this disease among local tribals. In 1979, a general hospital, the first of its kind in Arunachal Pradesh, was started at Itanagar at the instance of the Government of India, and in 1985, a comprehensive health care, educational and socio-economic uplift program was initiated for the tribal population of Bastar at the request of the Madhya Pradesh government. These centers have been at the focus of the growth and development of the people of these areas. Presently, the medical service of the Ramakrishna Math and Mission caters to over 55 lakhs patients annually through 14 hospitals, 131 dispensaries and polyclinics, 87 mobile medical units, and over 700 medical camps, incurring an annual expenditure of over 335 crores. These statistics do not include the health and education and health promotion activities that form an integral part of its formal and non-formal educational as well as tribal and rural development services. As part of Swami Vivekananda's 150th birth anniversary celebration in 2013 to 2014, the Ramakrishna Mission launched the Gadadhara Budaya Prakalpa, an integrated child development project, and the Vivekananda Shastra Seva Prakalpa, a rural maternal and child healthcare project across the country. The Ramakrishna Mission has been a pioneer in implementation of mass rural sanitation and waste management programs and has carried out numerous sanitary activities, including mass construction of household toilets and sanitary facilities, solid and liquid waste management programs, sanitary drives, and awareness generation campaigns. It also played an important role in the national COVID-19 response through relief measures, COVID care work, and vaccination drives. The mission also has a long history of supporting and facilitating traditional and alternate medical and health promotion measures. Swami Vivekananda's pioneering work in generating global awareness about the various yogas as spiritual disciplines has subsequently resulted also in the massive global interest in yoga as a health promotion measure. Most of the centers of the mission have used homeopathic treatment as both efficacious and cost-effective therapy. Ayurveda, Siddha, and naturopathy are also supported by several of our centers. Mobile medical units and medical camps are widely run to reach out to unreached populations. Moreover, telemedicine services are also provided in select centers for the rural populace. Health awareness and health promotion form an important part of the mission's health services, and it has developed considerable educational material for this purpose. Ramakrishna Mission invites all involved in medical and health care, as well as those aspiring to do so, to participate in and support the diverse healthcare activities of Seva Yajna. Swami Vivekananda has pointed out that, I quote, "There is no greater dharma than this service of living beings. If this dharma can be practiced in the real spirit, then liberation comes as a fruit on the very palm of one's hand." Unquote. In serving humanity through the Ramakrishna Mission, we can all aspire to this highest spiritual fulfillment, even as we function as instruments for building up a holistic, healthy India as envisioned by Swami Vivekananda. May the blessings of Swamiji Maharaj shower profusely on all present here today. I wish the seminar all success. I pray to Swami Vivekananda, the General of the Militia, to which I am a humble soldier. Sarve Sukhino Bhavantu, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkama Apnuvat. Let all be happy, let all be free from ailments, let all be blessed with the vision of truth, beauty, and goodness. Let misery touch none. Thank you so very much. Before I take leave of you, I must thank profusely my brother Swami Bodhavayananda, the head of our center at Hyderabad, who has so kindly remembered me for this great occasion. Thank you again.
Pranams to Revered
Dear
General Secretary.
Bodhomayananda, I am very glad that you
I offer my pranams to Revered General Secretary Maharaj, and our thanks also for sending this video message covering the entire span of 125 years of Ramakrishna Mission service to the society and what we can do together in the future. This is a wonderful, inspiring, thoughtful message.
Thank you, Maharaj. I'm deeply honored to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Balasubramaniam Garu, advisor, community processes and comprehensive primary health care in Government of India. He is presently part of Navgram Development Consulting from Bengaluru. I request Dr. Balasubramaniam Garu to address the gathering.
Namaskar to everybody. My humble pranams to the Holy Trio. My humble pranams to all the senior monks over here, Swami Bodhamayananji, Swami Satyeshananji, Swami Kripakarananji, Swami Dayadipananji, and also the distinguished guests of today, starting with Dr. Ravindra and Dr. Smita Kolle. Dr. Ravindra from Yashoda Hospitals, the director of LVPI, and Dr. Krishna Mohan from Bharat Biotech. At the outset, I would like to say humble pranams to the entire Ramakrishna mission and Mutt on this glorious occasion of actually completing 125 years of missionary zealous work across the length and breadth of the globe. In fact, I was just recollecting 125 years and the Swamiji's own proclamation that how long will Ramakrishna mission last? In his astrological framework, he said 1,500 years. And that means 125 years is just entering Gurukula, 8 years old. And in 8 years as a toddler, as an infant, it has achieved so much. Then you can know when it is entering to the vibrant adolescent age group and then to the youth, what it could achieve. And for that, I'm sure I'm here talking to the lot of converted people here. I know this message is not for you people. I'm making it clear. Because you know much more about Swamiji than what I'm going to speak in the next 3-4 minutes. But what is important is, Swamiji himself has said, if mountain does not come to Muhammad, the Muhammad has to go to mountains. There are crores and crores of people outside, which includes lakhs and lakhs of our own healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses, all healthcare providers right from the Asha Didis or Asha functionaries on the ground, up to the super specialists in the hospital, to the policy makers who are taking the baton of health leadership. This message has to go to all of them. And that is the reason that this session is being held, is what I'm believing. Because people who are attending over here knows why you are here. And you know what you want to do with it. But this is something that this is a mission that we need to take care, that going out, we go out enriched and with all the messages that the Human Excellence Institute students spoke about. And that's the whole approach here. Well, India is in the verge of the, I would say, in the Amrit Kal is what the Honorable Prime Minister has already been speaking about. What does Amrit Kal for all of us actually mean? If I look back onto the statistics of the day, you would know by the next 25 years, our workforce all around, including healthcare, is going to go up 5 times. In the next 25 years, India will be the youngest nation with its workforce, because we'll be 10 on a median age group. We'll be 10 years younger in the workforce than even China, the neighbor. Notwithstanding that, we'll be the 20% of the entire world's workforce. If that is true, we have no other choice but take the baton, take the responsibility on our shoulders, take the privileges on our hands, and move forward and serve people. And that's the reason this conference makes a lot of sense for all of us. Government of India in its Amrit Kal, it's a planning for the Amrit Kal in the last 3 years. And I had the good fortune of being part of the ministry as an advisor of universal health coverage, that's the comprehensive primary health care and the community processes. I see right from the National Health Mission Policy 2017, a tremendous thrust onto holistic health care and, more important, universal health care. And when we are talking about universal health coverage, we are talking about 3 things. The first thing is reaching every unreached person. The second thing is ensuring the expansion of services so that all services reach all people. Right now, there is a semblance of services limited to pregnancy and child care in most places. The rest of it is probably forgotten or missed. The third important thing is, do you know that the maximum, almost about 66% of the people get into debt trap because of the escalating cost of healthcare. And this is because of drugs and diagnostics and distances. And if you want to reduce the out-of-pocket expenses, you have no other choice but to universal health coverage. And that is where, again, going back to the mountain and the Muhammad, if mountain cannot come to Muhammad, Muhammad has to go to mountain, and we have to serve them like Swiggies and Olas at our doorstep. And that is what is the mission forward going there. We as doctors have always been on the 2D principle. I think we have too long for being on a 2-dimension way. We are doctors and the bosses, and we have the drugs, which is our instruments. Unfortunately, both of us are insufficient. Insufficient not only because of the quantum of people we have and the quantum of drugs that we have, insufficient because none can afford both of us. We need to reset this clock and reset the entire framework in which we actually function. And that is what this conference is heralding, is what I would look forward. We need to move from the 2D dimension, go 3 times, because at least you should know, by 2047, our GDP will grow 10 times. Today we are a $3.7 trillion economy. We are going to be $37 trillion economy by 2047. If we have to go to that level, at least we should go 3 times in terms of our own dimensions. And what are those 6 Ds that I would like to look at? Yes, we require doctors and all healthcare professionals. Probably, if you know, the government of India has almost, I would say, more than doubled the number of seats, whether it's medicine or nursing. Today, we have more than 108,000 medical seats in this country. Why is it important? Even today, you go to the neighboring Uttar Pradesh or Chhattisgarh or Madhya Pradesh. We have Sonbhadra district, which has got 1 gynecologist in the whole district. We have Siddhi district or Singrauli district in Madhya Pradesh, where we have 1 MBBS doctor for the whole population in a block. Whereas we have abundance of all these things in the southern states of Andhra, Kerala, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Maharashtra. I'm always amazed by seeing Dr. Kolle. I was saying, this is the third couple from Maharashtra. I don't know what is there in Maharashtra soil, that we have got such people coming out from there. We have the Banks, we have the Arols, and now we have the Kolles. All as couples coming on this one. I think we need to take a leaf out of them and actually move forward in looking at what type of doctors are we making. We are having increasing seats of everybody, but do we have the commitment that people could actually deliver for the people of the world, not just for India? Because we are going to be the healthcare force of that. Second, the drugs. Do you know that 70% of the out-of-pocket expenses are only because of drugs and diagnostics in the country? And if this cannot be quelled, there is no way the debt trap that our people are getting into, not only in this country, world over, can be actually changed. And that is what today Jana Aushadhi Kendras are coming out across the country, reducing the cost. There is already a policy pegging the cost at all levels, and that is the mission 2 of the government of India. First is increasing seats, second is increasing drugs. The third D that we want is to quell the distance that we have, the depth in which we can assess people. So there is a tremendous push for the third D called devices. I'm sure technological giants like Hyderabad and Bangalore will be in the forefront to actually push these things forward in terms of bringing out devices which are affordable, bringing out devices which actually help us to do the best within the limited period at the limited cost. The fourth D is we need to again quell the distances, and that can be done only by digital solutions. Today, you know, India is the largest teleconsultation hub in the world. India actually offers, on a single day, we had 5 lakh teleconsultations happening. And this is no mean achievement, because we have already crossed 12 million teleconsultations in the country. And today, people sitting at the home through the e-Sanjeevani can access the specialist in All India Institute of Medical Science, or at the primary health center, the medical officer. Anybody you can access. The e-Sanjeevani Health and Wellness Center portal actually allows doctor-to-doctor consultation for clarification, for updation, for also, in many cases, a specialist support for a person without having to travel to the distant district headquarters or the capitals of the country. And this is possible only because of the digital solution, the e-Sanjeevani Health and Wellness Centers. If all these things have to be achieved, first we need to decentralize care. Let us understand, in fact, morning also, I was having a discussion with Swami Srikantanandaji, and we were talking about how stress, how society, how the way we live have all affected our health. And then not only our health, the next generation's health, because we are actually conceiving new generation in our wombs with all the stress in our minds. And that is actually causing most of the diseases, whether it's diabetes or hypertension, whether it's autism or mental illness. So everything has got stress and chronic inflammation as the basement for or a foundation for every issue. And if that has to be quelled, I think we need to get these sort of conferences to come back and make us as human beings. Because this is where the whole focus comes in. And for that to bring in the humanism within us, we also start trusting people. When we are talking about trusting people, we are talking about trusting people at all levels. We need to take care, go lowest down. And that is what the mission Comprehensive Primary Healthcare Ayushman Bharat is trying to do. Get every person, every sort of care from womb to tomb within 30 minutes of radius from their home, even by walking. So that means within 30 minutes, they should get anything, whether it's a pregnancy or a palliative care, whether it's an eye care or an oral health care, whether it's a diabetes care or a cancer care, they should be able to access that. And that is what the Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Centers I have started doing. And today we have nearly 160,000 health and wellness centers across the country. And for that, we have a primary health center at the center with covering 30,000 population in rural areas and 50,000 population in urban areas, and decentralized further with sub-centers at every 5,000 in rural areas, and tribal areas it is every 3,000. And even in urban areas, we have what is now a transformed Basti Davakhanas for you. So this also ensures that people have been able to access care within that. And for that, universal health coverage, that means 70% of the problem should be solved within 30 minutes of a radius. With using digital solutions, another 20% should be covered. That means 90% of the people's problems should actually be solved within 30 minutes from home. And that is the mission Ayushman Bharat. And for that, we have Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Centers across today, which has seen more than 160 crore footfalls as on date. Notwithstanding that, we also have to look at all these illnesses, have to look at all elements. I would like to look at my own brother doctors and healthcare professionals over here. Do any one of you remember the definition of medicine? We all read it in our community medicine. Probably we have forgotten many of them. Medicine never talked about drugs and diagnostics. Medicine actually talked about, medicine is about preserving health and healing illnesses, which endeavors to make this person useful and contented member of the society. If he is ill, readjusting the person to the environment to be making them useful and contented member of the society. Nowhere there is drugs or diagnosis or devices. But we have forgotten that mission within ourselves. And I would say such conferences have to reignite the very purpose and nobility of our profession. And that is where I would say this element of trust wrap on this one. I don't think there is any profession in this world where people bear everything without fear or favor. There is no other profession. Physically they bear, mentally they bear, financially also they have started bearing. So now, if you're looking at, with a just your very presence can change such things, it is also a tremendous responsibility. And that is where I would look at the element of decentralization, not only going to the care of people, also embracing everybody in the concept of care, because we need to look at physical, mental, social, economic, spiritual, all dimensions of healthcare has to be affected. And that is what universal health coverage in the mission of Ayushman Bharat is all about. So it looks at both illness and wellness. It enables to look at, if people are well, how to keep them well, and if their people are ill, how to move them to the road to wellness. And both are included in Ayushman Bharat. And using technology, the Ayushman Bharat digital mission, we are able to now track every individual's care principles. This holistic approach is now looked at not only as governments alone, but the sixth D that I'm talking about is the distribution of work. So we had doctors, we had drugs, we have devices, we have digital technologies, we talked about decentralization, and now the sixth dimension is distribution. That means nobody is a pariah here. Whether it's a public, whether it's a private, whether it's for-profit, whether it's non-profit, everybody, as long as they incline towards welfare of the communities, everybody is included. So this partnerships is the next level of Vivekananda's own philosophy, where he says competition is a primitive trait, collaboration is an evolutionary trait, and consecration is our goal. And if we want to reach that level, at least if they are not competing, give up competition first, let us start collaborating for the well-being of the mankind at large. Hence, has emerged the Heal in India and the Heal by India program. What Swamiji hinted right now. Heal in India program is all about healing people inside India. That means to say we need to take care of our own people. We are already the most populous nation in the world. Not only that, we need to ensure that more people come here and take treatment. We also have medical value tourism. And medical value tourism is in the roadmap of the Amrit Kal. And I think at least Hyderabad would definitely be one of them where medical value tourism would also come up there. Second, at least 5 cities of the southern, I'm sure, will actually make it up to the medical value tourism. Heal by India. We are the most populous country. We have the youngest country. We have the largest workforce. We can only serve the world. And if we have to serve the world, we need to equip ourselves, empower ourselves, exit also to go and see people, whether it in Japan to do the home care nursing, or in terms of doing a specialization in America, or saving people who are struggling in Indonesia after an earthquake, or whatever problems, disasters that people face in the, I would say, the Asian world. Everywhere we need to be there. And that is Heal by India program. And we need to get geared for that. So today, if I want to sum it up, I don't think there is a dearth of political will. There is no dearth or direction of the policy. Equally important is the fact that there is no dearth of finances. Do you know, for just decentralization and ensuring primary health care as the most comprehensive, the whole of society approach, looking at both wellness and illness, do you know the policy directs 2/3 of our budget to be spent there. We have already moved up to 56%. Not a small number, considering we were hardly struggling with around 40%. It's a big jump in the last 9 years. And if you're looking at that, we have a long rope there also in terms of the financial commitment. But what is required, as Swamiji always says, we require men and of course women. I think Swamiji would be very proud to see this audience. We have more women over here than men. And I hope more women go around the world and help the world around there. And I'm sure this healthcare is no longer just a matter of skills and strength of your will. It is more to do with service. And when I'm talking about service, we all have two types of service models today. I always say, we have a Vivekananda model where he says, Shiva Gnane Jiva Seva, all your life, while doing any service, assume that you're actually praying to God, serving God. That is the Vivekananda model. Because all of us require 4 things as I understand. We all require security. We all require comfort. We also require satisfaction. We also require contentment. You can't have stages in which you get these things. I'll get security and comfort now, and later date I'll get satisfaction and contentment, which is the Bill Gates model. All his life he struggled to get money and became a wrecked soul, and then he started his own foundation and trying to put across the world and still struggling with his own affairs. But a Vivekananda model, all things are together. Your security, your comfort, your satisfaction, your contentment and fulfillment all go hand in hand. I'm sure the world will be more impressed, more impacted by a Vivekananda model. I'm sure each of you as ambassadors of this nation, of Vivekananda's philosophy, with this sort of commitment and message, would transform the world into a very healthy world. And India, the team Health India, would actually serve the global world. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the insightful insights and letting us know about Heal India program and reminding us that health is preserving health and medicine is preserving health. Thank you so much, sir. Now, a short video about the services of Ramakrishna Mutt will be played on the screen. Please sit back and enjoy.
स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्म स्वरूपिणे अवतारिणे वरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः।
May 1st, 2022. Like every other day, the golden sun, rising from behind the holy waters of the Ganges, touches the crest of the Sri Ramakrishna temple at Belur Mott. The flowing Ganges, bathed in the rays of the sun, has been witness to the 125-year journey of Ramakrishna Mission. As the mission reaches a historic milestone, we remember the prophetic words of Swami Vivekananda. The spiritual impact that has come here to Belur Mott will last 1500 years. Sri Ramakrishna had affectionately told Noreen that he was ready to go anywhere with his favorite disciple. I will go and live wherever it will be your pleasure to take me. On February 27, 1898, Swamiji carried the holy ashes of his master from Nilambar Mukherjee's garden house to the site chosen for the establishment of Belur Mott. The land was located on the western bank of the Ganges, diagonally opposite the Dakshineshwar temple. On December 9, 1898, the mott and mission were formally shifted to this land. Today, the worldwide activities of the Ramakrishna Mott and mission, spread over 24 countries, are monitored from its headquarters at Belur Mott. The 256 branches that include 119 Mott centers and 137 mission centers spread the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. The 191 branches within India, spread over 27 states and union territories, are known for their several service projects. A monk's main goal is to attain moksha through self-realization. Influenced by the ideals of his master, Swami Vivekananda fused this age-old idea of monasticism with the concept of organized service. A monk's life will be for the good of many, for the happiness of many. Bahujana Hitaya, Bahujana Sukhaya. Therefore, the motto of Swamiji's monastic order became Atmano Mokshartham Jagat Hitaya Cha, for one's own salvation and for the good of the world. It was from Sri Ramakrishna that Narendranath had first heard that Brahman or God is manifested in the world in every being. One must serve one's fellow beings as living gods. Shibo Gane, Jibo Sheba.
ব্রহ্মতে কীট পরমাণু সর্বভূতে সেই প্রেমময় মন প্রাণ শরীর অর্পণ করো সখে এ সবার পায় বহুরূপে সম্মুখে তোমার ছাড়ি কোথা খুঁজিছ ঈশ্বর জীবে প্রেম করে যেই জন সেই জন সেবিছে ঈশ্বর.
This constitutes the essence of Swamiji's concept of practical Vedanta, which he wanted the monks to implement in the order through their every thought and action. Sri Ramakrishna always said that truth was the austerity of the Kali Yuga. Swami Vivekananda would say, everything can be sacrificed for truth, but truth cannot be sacrificed for anything. In their search for the truth and the ideal, both the master and the disciple have sometimes chosen paths different from others. An incident from Sri Ramakrishna's childhood stands out in this context. Young Godadhar had promised Dhoni Kamarni, the midwife who had helped his mother give birth to him, that during his sacred thread ceremony, he would accept the first ceremonial alms from her only. 186 years ago, it was unthinkable for a young Brahmin boy to receive his ceremonial alms from a woman of a lower caste. Naturally, there was much opposition, but the 9-year-old Godadhar was able to convince his family that his inability to keep his word given to Dhoni would mean for him a serious deviation from the ideal of a Brahmin. The close society of almost 200 years ago conceded defeat to a 9-year-old child. Sri Ramakrishna's sadhana led him to declare, Joto moth toto poth. As many faiths, so many paths. Sri Ramakrishna's life and message transcend all boundaries of race, region, and religion. Sri Ramakrishna always said that the ultimate aim of all religions was the realization in different aspects of one and the same truth. The early life of Narendranath also has many instances reflecting his search for truth. Every day, several people would come to see his father, attorney Vishwanath Datto. Each of them were provided with a earmarked hookah, separate for different castes and religions. Narendranath was curious to learn what misfortune would befall a person if he smoked a hookah meant for another person. One day, he took a whiff from all the hookahs. He was satisfied that nothing untoward happened to him by this act of breaking caste. Not only has Sri Ramakrishna's life provided the ideology of the Ramakrishna Mott and Ramakrishna Mission, but he has also played the most active role in bringing into existence and giving organizational shape to the Ramakrishna Order, the mother institute of both the Mott and the Mission. Swami Vivekananda's most important teaching was the divinity of man, and based on that divine identity, oneness of all. The Ramakrishna Mission is based on this ideal. That is why, though it is a spiritual organization, it is engaged in extensive service irrespective of caste, creed, and religion. Ramakrishna Mission's object is to help people attain self-realization, fulfilling their physical, mental, intellectual, and spiritual needs.
Like in South Africa, in Fiji, in Mauritius, Sri Lanka.
This is a very long video. We'll just go through the activities in parts so that your attention will be there and you'll get good knowledge of what's happening, what will happen in the future. So this session will end with a vote of thanks, and then we'll go to the next session of building institutions with values.
I now request Dr. Vivek Modi sir, Faculty, Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, to deliver the vote of thanks for the first session.
Namaste to everyone. My pranams to the distinguished presence on the dais. My pranams to the Holy Trio. While I'm giving a vote of thanks, we are only taking off. So it's time to actually wear your seat belts. You may probably stand up once and stretch yourself, but then the real session, the technical session starts after this. And I would like to first acknowledge all the events what we had since morning. We started by an invocation song with the brahmacharis, and that set up the tone for the day. Then we had Ashirvachanam from Srimad Swami Suviranandaji Maharaj. Our pranams and thanks for his guidance. Probably Swami Satyeshanandaji would convey our humble pranams and gratitude to Swami Suviranandaji Maharaj in Belur Mutt. Swami Bodhmayanandaji, Pujya Adhyaksh Maharaj of Ramakrishna Mutt, Hyderabad, he set up the tone, he introduced the theme of today's event, and he also introduced all the guests. So he is the Sutradhar. I thank him. for giving all of us this wonderful opportunity to hear from such distinguished presence. I would also like to thank Dr. Bala Subramaniam for his insightful speech and wonderful ideas shared with us. An important presence to be acknowledged, and in fact, they will be helping us. We'll be learning from them in the sessions, forthcoming sessions. Dr. Santosh is here. Sir, if you could please give a big round of applause. Dr. Santosh is a senior public health official. He is a member of National Medical Commission, member of National Human Rights Commission, and members of many other societies, life devoted to contribution towards healthcare. Thank you, sir, for your presence. We have Dr. Surendra Reddy ji also among us, a man truly living a householder's life, but no less than a monk, contributing to the cause of Arogyam for past maybe 50 years or so, if I'm right, or maybe more. So thank you so much, sir, for your presence. After this session, we are going to have addresses by all the distinguished presence here, and then a session which will be led by Dr. Santosh, a panel discussion, where we'll have some insightful discussion on healthcare, how to make it more humane, and what are other different ideas. So all of you, this is just soup you have taken. Be ready for the main course. I'm sorry, I missed the presence of Ravindra Rao sir. Ravindra Rao sir is here from Yashoda Hospital. Ravindra Rao sir is founder of Yashoda Hospital, a distinguished technocrat, philanthropist, and a big contributor in city of Hyderabad in the field of healthcare. Thank you, sir, for your presence. So with this, we come to the close of session 1, inaugural session. And following this, very soon, we are going to have speeches from our distinguished guest. And after that, the panel discussion. Thank you one and all for your presence here. And I hope you'll have a good time here. Thank you. So we have a 5-minute break. I would request all of you to remain seated. Just stretch yourself. Unless it is very important, do not move out so that we can maintain the flow of the event. And within 5 minutes, we'll have the first speaker, his address, and followed by others. Thank you. we are about to start second session. I request all the people in the audience, anybody who can hear me outside the auditorium, please join us in the auditorium as quickly as possible. And I invite upon Swami Satyeshananda Ji Maharaj on the dais to take his seat. Swami Kripakarananda Ji, Swami Bodhamayananda Ji. I request Dr. Prashant Garg also to occupy the chair on the dais. Yes. And Sri Ravindra Rao Ji and Dr. Krishna Mohan sir. So please take your seats. Yeah, there are nameplates, sir. So once again, I'm just informing that we'll have short addresses by all the speakers on the dais and followed by a panel discussion which will be led by Dr. Santosh. So it gives me immense pleasure to introduce Srimad Swami Satyeshananda Ji Maharaj, a monk of Ramakrishna order founded by Swami Vivekananda. He received mantra, brahmacharya and sannyas diksha from revered Swami Bhuteshananda Ji Maharaj, who was the 12th president of Ramakrishna Mutt and Ramakrishna Mission. Swami Satyeshananda Ji also had the privilege of serving revered Bhuteshananda Ji Maharaj as a medical sevak for about 6 years. Such a blessing. He was ordained into sannyasa in the year 1997. So it's almost 25 years, now 26th year. He served as a physician, he's a doctor. He served as a physician at Ramakrishna Mission International Headquarters, Belur Mutt, Ramakrishna Mission Tuberculosis Sanatorium at Ranchi and Ramakrishna Mission Sevashram, Kankhal, Haridwar from 1987 to 2008. Afterwards, he was in charge of Ramakrishna Mission District Tuberculosis and Medical Center, Karol Bagh, New Delhi, Sri Ramakrishna Vidyashala, Mysore, and Sri Ramakrishna Mission Ashram, Chandigarh, till April, very recently, 2019. He was elected as a trustee of Ramakrishna Mutt and a member of the governing body of Ramakrishna Mission in 2018. Since 2019, he is at Belur Mutt, serving as one of the assistant general secretaries of Ramakrishna Mutt and Ramakrishna Mission. We are blessed to have you, Swamiji, and we invite you for your address.
Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्तिः रामकृष्णे स्थिता ह्या सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहं नित्यशुद्धबुद्धमुक्तवेदान्ताम्बुजभास्करं नमामि युगकर्तारम् आर्तनाथं वीरेश्वरं या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. My respectful pranams to Swami Bodhamayananda Ji Maharaj and love and best wishes to other brother monks and best wishes to the dignitaries on the dais, of the dais, and dear friends. It gives me great joy to be here this morning, and I am extremely grateful to Swami Bodhamayananda Ji Maharaj, my elder brother, the Adhyaksha of this great, one of the most important centers of Ramakrishna order, for having given me this blessed opportunity to be here. Ramakrishna Mission is the first monastic organization of the sannyasins, to start healthcare services in an organized way back in 1897 itself. Swami Akhandanandji, when he started relief service, he also began medical relief work. So the subject for today's discussion is building medical institutions with values. I have been given 15 minutes of time. It is not even 2020 cricket match. It is probably 3 overs or 5 overs left with. So I will try to compress in these 15 minutes. So I always wondered, what is the power? I will restrict myself to the health care services of Ramakrishna Mission, because there are already eminent citizens of this great country, personalities who are working in healthcare services, and dedicated people who are working as healthcare providers. So I will confine myself to the role played by Ramakrishna Mission and how Ramakrishna Mission, Swami Vivekananda, could build these magnificent medical institutions with values. What exactly is meant by building medical institutions with values? Values means here offering top quality medical care. As Dr. Balasubramaniam said, diagnosis is very important. Modern technology is important. Diagnostic and therapeutic services are important, but at affordable prices, so that even the poorest of the poor can access it. So this is medical institutions with values. Values means here basically service-mindedness. And Ramakrishna Mission, as all of you know, is a purely divine organization. It's a charitable humanitarian institution. It's not a profit-making organization. It's not a commercial venture. It's not a business house. No hidden ulterior agenda here. Swami Vivekananda's only motto, only mission of life was to do good to the world, entire world. That has been beautifully expressed in this Maha Mantra. That is, mantra is one which protects us. Mantra means mananat trayate iti mantra. Mantra is that which sustains us, which shows us the guidance, which gives us light. So this Atmano Mokshartam Jagadhitaya means my self-knowledge. I need to know myself. Who am I? What is my true nature? Where do I come from? Am I just a combination of material substances, arteries, veins, atoms, molecules? Am I a combination of just thoughts, desires, urges, emotions? Who am I? What is my true nature? That is Atmano Mokshartam, for self-discovery, self-knowledge. My azadhu, azadhi rahunga. That azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav. So Atmano Mokshartam is that. Jagadhitaya is so important, to do good to the society in which we live, to do good to the world in every way. So enriching the society in which we live. So this is the motto. And values, how could Ramakrishna Mission do it? Way back in 1884 or 1885, Sri Ramakrishna was in Dakshineshwar. Many of you must have read. Sri Ramakrishna was speaking of the qualities of a devotee, a bhakta, a Vaishnava bhakta. What are the 3 important qualities? That he said, Nami Ruchi means remembering God, Simran, Smaran, always praying to God. That is one of the important qualities. Second quality is Sadhu Seva, serving the good, the needy, the poor. And third is, he said, Vaishnava Seva, then Daya. Daya means compassion. Sri Ramakrishna said, it is not daya. You must serve with great humility, with great respect, with great reverence, seeing God in everybody. So Swami Vivekananda heard this, and then and there he decided, if God gives me an opportunity, I will translate this noble idea into action. So he started this mission with that noble objective. Atmano Mokshartam Jagadhitaya. So he instructed his disciples, Kalyananandji, Nishchayanandji, Swami Achalanandaji, Shubhanandaji, in Kankhal, in Haridwar, Brahmachari Harendra, in Vrindavan, etc., to start medical centers to take care of the sick and the suffering. So how could they do this? How did they build these institutions? They all had very humble beginnings. This we must know. It did not, this institution itself is such a gigantic institution, a great saint, one of the greatest saints of 20th century or 21st century, Swami Ranganathananji lived here. So his presence, his Atman, his spirits pervades the entire Hyderabad mutt. So it's such a beautiful experience to be here. So Swamiji instructed his disciples to start these medical centers. And they had, as I said, these centers had very humble beginnings. Just a few pennies, they purchased a few medicines, gave the pilgrims, gave the sadhus, gave the sick and the suffering portable water, a little food. So slowly the institutions grew, day by day, month after month, year after year. So this we must remember, this we always have to begin in a small way. They say 1,000-mile journey begins with a single step. 1,000-mile journey begins with a single step. Small drops of water constitute a mighty ocean. So all these great undertakings begin in a small way. But what sustains them, what helps them in their growth, what nourishes them is this character. As Dr. Balasubramaniam said, what we want is men and women of character, integrity, honesty, service-mindedness. He quoted 3 couples from Maharashtra. So what is that? That passion, that zeal to serve people. That is how this Ramakrishna Mission Center is sustained. And you will be surprised to see, we all hear about Swami Vivekananda and Sri Ramakrishna. But I would always like to emphasize the role played by one lady, one woman, ordinary rustic woman, very ordinary externally, internally extraordinary. Her name, many of you may be knowing, Sri Sharada Devi, Holy Mother Sri Sharada Devi. This Hyderabad mutt where we are here today, with a dispensary, with a school of languages, with the Institute of Excellence, so many activities are happening here. This Hyderabad mutt would not have come into existence. Belur mutt would have died long ago. There would have been no Ramakrishna mission at all, but for that lady, Holy Mother Sri Sharada Devi. This Ramakrishna mutt and Ramakrishna mission are her loving gifts to humanity. Swami Vivekananda built Belur mutt with his heart's blood. All of us know, all of you must know that how he shed his heart's blood. And then he built this Belur mutt. In 1898, plague medical relief was happening with the help of Miss Margaret Noble, an Irish disciple of Swamiji. She became famous as Sister Nivedita, and Swami Dayananda and other disciples of Swami Vivekananda. They did extensive relief work. People were dying like worms. They were fleeing in panic. So they worked with great enthusiasm, with great dedication, risking their own lives, because plague, very infectious, all of us know bubonic plague, pulmonic plague. Then money got exhausted, there were no funds. Then they went to Swamiji and said, Swamiji, we don't have funds. Then Vivekananda, exactly like Shiva, all of us know Sri Ramakrishna considered him an avatar of Shiva. Dildar. Swamiji said, we are sannyasins, we are supposed to live under trees, we don't have to live in mansions. We will sell this Belur mutt, and whatever money we get, we will use it for relief work. So the decision was taken, and the Swamiji's decision means ultimate, final. Nobody had the courage to question Swamiji, but somehow the news reached Mother Sri Sharada Devi. Mother intervened, her sagacity, her wisdom, because Sri Ramakrishna called her Sri Saraswati, goddess of wisdom, knowledge. She has come down to this earth in disguise to give knowledge and love to humanity. Mother told, my son Naren, you should not sell Belur mutt. Money will come for this plague relief work. From here, from Belur mutt, a lot of relief works, humanitarian activities will happen for thousands of years. So that is how Mother saved the situation. So everything, whatever we see, these medical institutions or educational institutions of Ramakrishna Mission, everything is because of that Holy Mother. And how we manage, we also have a lot of challenges, lot of difficulties, stress, struggle, strain, trials, tribulations. Every one of us us has to go. These pandemics like stress, this doesn't spare anybody. Anybody who is embodied is afflicted with that, with this stress and strain and anxiety, tension. So how we cope with this and how we try to ensure the quality of Ramakrishna Mission institutions means trying to keep up these values like service and integrity, transparency in accounts, etc. It is all because, as I said in the beginning, this is purely a spiritual organization, a divine organization. And Swamiji said, Mother is born to revive Shakti, making Mother the nucleus. Once again, great women like Maitreyis and Gargis will be born. So I see a lot of women sitting here, girls sitting here, so they can derive a lot of inspiration. They can build any number of medical institutions or educational institutions. If they just go and sit in the temple, Ranganathananji Maharaj has created such a beautiful temple here, full of spiritual vibrations. What we want is character to do work. We need inner strength. Physical strength is very, very important. Without being physically strong, physically healthy, we can't serve people. A sound mind and a sound body, all of us know every day we have to take physical exercises, take care of our diet, do yoga, pranayama, swimming, tennis, whatever is possible for us, we have to do that to ensure ourselves the physical fitness, but mental fitness, mental strength, mental hygiene is of paramount importance. So this is my humble request. Every day, for 5 minutes, if you can come and sit and pray to the Lord, it will revive you, it will rejuvenate your emotional, spiritual batteries, and you will be imbued with tremendous strength. Swami Vivekananda always would say, if you read Swamiji's letters, you will get tremendous strength. Swamiji himself has said, whoever reads my words, whoever reads my letters will imbibe my spirit. What is Swamiji's spirit? The message of that Catholicity, universal brotherhood, large-heartedness, fearlessness, wisdom. We get Viveka, means discrimination, guidance, clarity of understanding, clarity of vision, clarity of expression, clarity of action. Then Ananda, peace and joy, everything we get when we study Swamiji's words. So Swamiji said, whatever I am today, it is all because of my Gurudev, Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna is so powerful, so great. From a speck of the dust of his feet, thousands of Vivekanandas are produced. So Swamiji owes everything to Sri Ramakrishna and Mother. And he said, for me, Mother's grace is of paramount importance. If Mother wills, she can work wonders. So Swamiji always said, every one of you has a bright future. Every one of you has a glorious future. Every one of you will do marvelous work. All that is required is faith in oneself. That is the most important thing. Atma Shraddha. I will be able to do excellent thing. I will be able to attain fulfillment in life, blessedness in my life. These children, so beautifully they said, Swamiji's teachings, they alone live, who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive. What a great truth. Vanities of the world are transient, ephemeral. Vanity means beauty, health, wealth, power, position, honor, recognition. These are all temporary, just for a few days. So what is important is this inner enrichment, fulfillment, a sense of blessedness. So this is my humble request. Everyone, this is not just Ramakrishna Mission has done. What we are doing is just a drop in the ocean. So you, the citizens of this great country, this blessed motherland of ours, this Punya Bhumi, you also will be able to do marvelous work, build any number of educational institutions, medical institutions of excellence, eminence with values. You just have to pray to Sri Ramakrishna, Mother and Swamiji. I will conclude my short talk with this quotation. I'm very fond of quoting this Dr. Alexis Carrel's Man the Unknown. He was a great French vascular surgeon. He got Nobel Prize for his pioneering work on vascular surgery. He used to say, prayer is the most powerful form of energy one can generate. As a physician, as a surgeon, I have seen men lifted out of suffering, melancholy, depression, stress by the serene effort of prayer. What is the physiology of prayer? When we pray, we link ourselves with that inexhaustible, infinite motive force which spins this universe. So this is a beautiful place, one of the most powerful places I have seen, this Hyderabad Ramakrishna Mutt, created by that great saint, that spiritual ambassador, Swami Ranganathananji. You must make use of this great facility and become great. Swamiji said, by meditating on oneself, all that is good and great and excellent will come. So I conclude by praying to Sri Ramakrishna, by praying to Mother, by praying to Swamiji, by meditating on them, all that is good, great, glorious, excellent will be able to get. Money will come, human resources will come, help will come, administrative acumen will come, efficiency will come, productivity will come, everything that is excellent will come when we pay heed to the words of these great masters. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू सो मच स्वामी जी. गागर में सागर इसको बोलते हैं. 10 मिनट में इतना कुछ, मेंटेनिंग टाइमलाइन एंड एट द सेम टाइम fulfilling the expectation. Thank you so much, Swamiji, for your wonderful address. Now, I have the opportunity to introduce Pujya Swami Kripakarananda Ji Maharaj. First of all, let us thank Swamiji from coming all the way from Arunachal Pradesh, from Itanagar, here, taking his time. So, Swamiji is a monk at Ramakrishna Math order for more than 25 years now. In his pre-monastic life, he graduated in medicine from Calcutta University or Kolkata University and his other trainings. And now he has experience of more than 20 years in different medical capacities. He's a multifaceted personality, a Hindustani classical vocalist who has performed in various stages all over the country. He's a painter of Oriental style. Oriental is a word we use for Eastern. So a painter of Oriental style, apart from being an occasional writer and a wonderful orator on different topics. Topics of spirituality, science, art, medicine, many other streams of importance for our lifestyle. So I invite upon Swami Kripakarananda Ji for his address. Thank you so much.
Swami Kripakaranji is a musical doctor Swami. Anybody wanting to learn how music will help in treating patients, you can learn from Kripakarananda. And how meditation can help you in medication, you can learn from him. And on 3rd of July, Guru Purnima, in the afternoon, we have arranged his program, speech and talk, bhajan, Mata Pata, on Vivekananda's Guru Bhakti, from 3:30 to 4:30. He will sing and speak also. That is on Monday. This is an additional bonus for all of you.
My sincere most gratitude and pranam to all the monks on the stage and off the stage, and my sincere greetings and best wishes for all the doctors, all the staffs, devotees, and etc. who are all gathered here, and all the dignitaries and all the specialists here. I prepared one PowerPoint, but things I thought in general, let it be there, but I would focus in different way. Now, so far we have discussed, our central theme is how to make our medical dispensation, medical service a better one, for a better India. India is a word with tremendous emotion and passion. Swamiji used to utter this word. Nivedita says, when Swamiji will utter India, his whole personality will change. You cannot talk to him. He was India himself. What does it represent? It represents an emotion. An emotion which is coming from a tremendous depth of wisdom, excellence, service, sympathy, all the greatest of the human qualities gathered together is called India. Now, he was not a doctor. Sri Ramakrishna was not a doctor. Then how we are discussing his ideas on medical things? For the fine-tuning of medical things, what exactly we're trying to do? Is it the technicalities of medicine and other things really concerned here? Nobody is born doctor. Nobody is born engineer. We are given a stream and we educate ourselves. Now, I always have a passion to speak this specific point. We call doctor a noble profession. And people think by becoming doctor I'll be noble. And the point is the other way around. If you are not noble by nature, don't become a doctor. A doctor is expected to become noble. The others are not expected to become that noble. You may become noble, that's your problem. But you must be noble if you are a doctor. Otherwise, don't enter. You will be called in the dead of the night. Your engineer brother will not be called in the dead of the night. If he comes, oh, great person. If you don't come, he is a miser. He is not coming, being a doctor. He must come and serve me. Sri Ramakrishna says, He, the Lord, is verily in the form of a doctor. He is the manifestation. Doctor is the manifestation of Sri Ramakrishna himself says, like Shiva Jnana Jiva Seva, one small sentence make the whole mission. Similarly, in a small sentence, Tini Akrupe Chikitshak, He, the Lord, is in one form, is the doctor. What is the present scenario? Number one is doctor-patient ratio, severely distorted. Patient-nurse ratio, severely distorted. We have not even gone out of places. We think medical advancement means making big institutes and making big machines, big robotics and nanos. It may be required for 5 people in any country. What was discussed in the morning session, wonderful. Do you have the real resource to pay for the doctors and the medicines? You don't have. I don't think the people should fight to have that resource for becoming a wonderfully doctor-friendly country, medical-friendly country. That is not the procedure. That is a wrong procedure. We are being fed to follow this type of prototypical materialistic procedure to counteract our medical service. Wonderfully pointed out, the definition of medicine, come to the point. Definition of disease, come to the point. Definition of health, come to the point. Myself, staying in Arunachala, the most uninhabited state by common people of India, thronging by the tribes. The population is extremely low. The whole place, the whole Arunachala state is having only 15 lakhs of population, spaced by very difficult terrain. You cannot go there. You cannot go from one mountain to one mountain, landslides and so many things. And there are some other political inhibitions. You don't own a land like that. In 1979, Indian government called us, our mission, to establish one medical facility center. That was the first center in whole Arunachal. We had the first concrete building in the whole Arunachal in our OTs. It was started very humbly, keeping all our staffs inside our campus. Now it has made a journey of 44 years. It has now become a multi-speciality hospital. But if you go there, it is not like that profoundly sounding hospital structures and facilities throbbing. It's not there. They still respect terribly our Ramakrishna mission. Why? Because we don't discriminate. We always pay attention to the poor and the suffering people. Why do you do that? because that is the inner truth of service. See, Swamiji had two very difficult ideas. One is serve unto death, because what you are seeing as a man or a woman, it is verily a manifestation of divinity. Verily, that is the truth in it. In God, in Subramaniam, in Ganesha, in Durga, it may be tremendously big in manifestation, but the dot, the spark, the same thing is in every human being, which is immortal, which is the real connecting of this one divinity truth. Ekam Sat. So Ekam Sat is actually manifested in every individual, sinner or saint alike. This is a tremendous eye-opener. We love our mother. We adore our gods. Why? Because we get something in return. We have a worldly policy, But the truth is not that. The truth is, Shiva, everywhere the Shiva is there. Swamiji says, who sees Shiva in a temple? He's just the beginner who sees Shiva in every people, in the downtrodden, in the suffering. He really worships Shiva. That is the concept of Shiva. Now, we are in a very good end as a medical professionals to serve. To be very personal and funny, I got admission in IITs also, in medicines also. I choose medicine because of this one thing. I can serve people immediately. No file movement things. I will move. Something will move. Tomorrow something will come to you. No. Directly, some guy is sitting in front of you in the bus or a train or somewhere, suffering. Immediately give. Forget. You can serve immediately. You see, medicos, is there anything like discrimination? Do you discriminate blood or kidney or eye or cornea or injection or whatever? Have you ever done it? Never you have done it. Then why do you do it in your normal life? Why you are even educated to do that? Diseducate this problem. Medical people can fervently do that because they are doing it daily. Not for themselves, for others. Another very important aspect. These values, though are eternal, but extremely important in today's context. Swamiji says, 3 things are necessary to make man great, or every nation great. Conviction to the power of goodness, absence of jealousy or suspicion, and helping all who are trying to be and do good. You will find we are missing some or other point. That's why we really suffer. It is the psychology, it is the vision. Knife does not cut. Knife cuts. But the eye of a surgeon made the surgery. It does not kill a people. It's not a murderer. So, the eye, the vision, that is what is given. We must give now the nobility. Statistics is clear. Tremendously growing youth. We are the power, he has it already described. And if I don't train this youth, we will miss a tremendous chance. A tremendous chance will be missed. But Swamiji has to say that India, if it is properly tuned, it will be excellent in all the fields. How he speaks, let me just quote him. We should quote him. Our lifeblood is spirituality. If it flows clear, if it flows strong and pure and vigorous, everything is right. Political, social, any other material defects, even the poverty of the land will be cured if that blood is pure. The national ideal of India, renunciation and service, intensify her in those channels, it will take care of itself. University does not teach us this thing, no? School does not speak this thing, no? Children are not given this word, no? How we will learn? We have to give in syllabus, and we'll speak of honesty by copying our paper sheets. Is this the procedure? Is this a rot going in vicious cycle? One of the very important founder of one Western society, he used to say, if you want to elevate a nation, educate mothers. Educate them. Children should be educated. If they don't get education in university, educate in the cradle. Service. Service. Swamiji says one wonderful thing. We are all skeptical about service. He says, unselfishness is more paying. Only people have not patience to practice it. Immediate gains. These are the eye-openers. And we doctors, I personally have felt throughout my life, I've gone, it's my privilege. I've seen whole India, I have worked in Bihar, because it's my experience I'm sharing with you. Why? Because it's not a second-hand word I'm telling to you. I was in Bihar, I was in Chennai, Bangalore, I was in Mumbai, I was in Vrindavan, I was in Kashi. I've gone deep into the society where they have never heard of any health care. And now in Arunachal, they simply roam blind, you know. They have severe amount of feticides and the antenatal death, so many. Not a single person go there. Swamiji says, spread, dear brother, spread all over India, spread like fire. And he had full confidence and trust. And the youngsters, one passed out MBBS or MD, go to the remote, no, give the caution money and enjoy. You must act properly. The point is, divinity is much, much more enjoying than pleasure. What wonderfully said, today I was laughing, 2 models he gave. It's true. If you really follow the Vivekananda model, you will be secured, you will be tremendously happy and satisfied and contented. And tremendous good will flow from you. You will never feel any smallest stumble in your flow. It is like a cream. And you know, by today's governance, I am so proud. Doctors like these couples, they have come all over from Maharashtra. They are humble. When they began becoming a 1 rupee doctor, did they have that thing that I have to become famous? We have learned to worship people who are sacrificing. This is India. The giver of Covaxin also is here. The whole name, international fame, name, the whole big country is bowing down their head to India because of wonderful Covaxin. See, this is India. So let us heal India. And by India, inside India, the world will be amazed to see the Indians. Please come back, serve here. Don't get cheated by bad, malicious propagations of media. They are working very hard every day how to make medicines very much lucrative, very much costly. They will give you bumps of glitters. That is not medical service. Service is a different thing. So, I will conclude with one small wisdom of our great sages. See, they who are now doctors, he used to say, Konu syat upayutro yenaham sarvadehinam antapravishya satatam bhaveyam dukkha bharvak. He cannot understand how to kill, how to heal people, but he has a tremendous heart. He says, by which way I can enter everybody and I can get the suffering inside. I am searching that path. Swamiji said the same thing. He said, if you are miserable, unhappy, diseased, frustrated, bring all to me, put in me. I am a cauldron, you know. I can char them and make medicines out of it. And forget there was any Vivekananda. I can tell you, in 1940s, when Vrindavan Shivashrama came, there was an ashram, if you've gone there, Vrindavan you will see, we call the old ashrama. There are few sadhus. I have spoken to those sadhus. They are passed away. Maharaj, how could you do the eye surgeries? Because they are not educated those days. Education was very rare for people. Even a graduate is very rare. So Maharaj was not telling me properly because I am a doctor of education. So he is fumbling. Maharaj, please tell me, I want to know what was the service procedure you followed. He said, you know, we three sadhus learned the surgery, cataract surgery, simplest, those days ICS, simplest surgery from a doctor. Destitutes will come, beggars, monks will come. They have nobody to complain, you know. So we learned very carefully because no doctors were there. We ourselves used to do the surgery. No patient is to die. We have done thousands of surgeries. This is good. But Swamiji says one important thing. See, the paradox. Swamiji says, I would rather prefer to die in the hand of an educated doctor than to live in an ignorant one's hand. Why? He used to adore Vidya. Vidya should be incorporated. Why? Then Vidya should be given. You see, Upanishad says, how to give the thing? Shraddhaya, Vidyaya, Upanishada. Shraddha, respect. Swamiji says, this is the only one value. Man to man variations and differences only because of Shraddha. Shraddha. Shraddha mayoyam purushaha. He is the full of Shraddha. The amount of Shraddha we manifest is we. Then Vidya automatically will come. Do you think this reading and university pass out big issue? Never a big issue. Rather, I should retaliate that it is our problem of education system. Why should I make 4 lakhs people to make a seat for an exam and take 100? It's an exclusive education system. We should take more. We should take talent. They are not talented. Everybody is talented. Vidyaya, Upanishada, profound thinking. That is what Swamiji says. Ultimately, when you cater the food, you must be preparing the food properly, wonderfully, with love. Our founder secretary of Kankal Ashrama, Kalyananji, used to say, who was inspired by Swamiji, Kalyananji used to say, you know what is Ramakrishna mission? It is selfless, loving service. Only selflessness will not do. People become selfless like Udasi. They don't understand what selfless. Actually, you need not understand selflessness. It is automatically, it will come automatically. The loving service, expand your heart. Feel for others. We are educated in the tax of the beggar who is sitting there. Think it. Give them. Whatever will give them will go to God. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Swamiji, for highlighting the importance of service and such wonderful ideas. Now, I have the privilege to call upon Dr. Prashant Garg. He is an executive chair, LV Prasad Eye Institute. If you know Hyderabad city for few reasons, one of the reasons is LV Prasad Eye Institution, right? People from far off come here for dealing with their eye issues. So, succeeding the founder chairman, Dr. G.N. Rao, he is an internationally renowned leader in corneal infections, antimicrobial resistance, and eye banking. A recipient of numerous prestigious national and international awards, he is also in the board of several international organizations, societies, and scientific journals. Dr. Garg obtained his medical degree and specialization in ophthalmology from Ravindranath Tagore Medical College, Udaipur. I just smiled because my father did his MBBS from the same college. Sir, maybe he's your senior, sir. His association with L.V. Prasad Eye Institute dates back to 1996 when he joined Institute as a Cornea Fellow. During the past 25 years, he has held several leadership positions in the organization, including Director Kallamanji Reddy Campus, the Center of Excellence in Hyderabad, Director Kolle Venkatadri Chaudhary Campus in Vijayawada, Network Head of iBanking, Network Head of Education, and he also holds the Dr. Paul Dobert Chair of Cornea. We are privileged to have you, sir. It's time for your address. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I like to pay my regards to all the monks on the dais. I'll also like to greet all the doctors who are in the audience, today being the Doctors' Day. I think Swamiji, who spoke before me, has very clearly highlighted the responsibilities of medical professionals. And he very clearly articulated that if you are entering in the field of healthcare, you need to be noble. And if you cannot be noble, don't take this profession. In next 10 minutes, I'll share with you the story of L.V. Prasad Eye Institute and how we have created an organization with values. But before I begin my talk, I like to present to you that as we are entering closer of the first quarter of 21st century, you all will realize that while there have been tremendous progress and developments in healthcare, there is a sadness. And the sadness is because those developments are available and accessible to only a small part of our population. Most of these are limited in large urban areas. If you drive away close to about 150 kilometers away from Hyderabad, you will realize that the population has no access or very limited access to healthcare. In my early childhood, I spent my life in a very small village near Jaipur. My father was in an agriculture university, and this was a off-campus of University of Udaipur. In that village, there was a primary healthcare center. But most of the time, the doctor posted there used to be absent. What it resulted in? It resulted in that most of the people had to get care by either the registered nurse posted in that PHC, or they were left to the mercy of quacks to take care of their health. The situation has not changed. When I joined L.V. Prasad Eye Institute and visited one of the secondary center and went around, I realized that many villages have no access to eye care. We found a 60-year-old lady who was left blind because of the bilateral cataract. And one of our village health guide could identify that this lady can be relieved of her blindness. He immediately referred that lady to our secondary center. We performed surgeries on both eyes. She is able to see. She has gone back into farms, and the grandchildren have gone back into the school. See the transformation that you bring in the society if you take health care closer to the doorsteps of our population. And remember, in India, 60% of the population lives in rural areas. It is the responsibility of every citizen to ensure that we are able to provide healthcare even in the remote rural areas. Now, in this background, if we talk about the eye care, today close to about 2.3 billion people in the world require help of eye care professionals. And almost 1 billion population has no access to eye care. And that's the sad part in the 21st century. Even more sadness comes when you realize that 2/3 of this population can be benefited or can be relieved of their vision impairment by simple pair of glasses or by simple surgery of cataract. And as a society, we have failed even to take care of those simple basic needs. L.V. Prasad Eye Institute was founded in 1986 by our founding chairman, Dr. Gullapalli Nageshwar Rao. And when the foundation stone was being laid down, he made a commitment. Anybody who walks on our campuses will not be denied care, regardless of their paying capabilities. And he announced that right at the beginning. The second thing that he made a commitment was the free care or the will not be limited to certain procedures. We are going to reconcile excellence with equity. And these became the two founding pillars of our organization. So out of our 5 values that we follow in our organization, excellence, equity, and patient first became our first 3 values. You cannot run an organization if you cannot attract people who believe in your philosophy, who believe in your philosophy. And therefore, the 2 other values were related to the people who will be the workforce in the organization. And he said that this organization will be run by people who have highest integrity, which is the 4th value that we have. And he said that we will like people to work together. They should not be just the individual performers. They should work in a team. And togetherness became the 5th value of our organization. We took a mandate and we dreamed that we are going to work to create a world free of needless vision impairment. And we will also ensure that we create a world where every individual, regardless of their vision, can live the life with their full potential. So 2 aspects. You want to relieve vision impairment, and you also want to rehabilitate those who are suffering with irreversible vision losses. We are the only eye care organization which not only work to help people suffering with vision impairment by providing medical care, but all our centers have facilities to provide rehabilitation, both for the livelihood as well as for living in all our campuses. Today, we are present in 282 locations. Of these, 250 locations are in remote rural areas. We have also decided that we are going to strengthen our primary care network in order to improve access of eye care in 3 states where we are present, and will provide this model to other states and countries who want to adapt this model to improve access. I like to sum up by saying that today both developing and developed world is realizing that good health is most crucial. But this mission cannot be achieved if you just spend your energy and resources on bringing goodness. Unless we bring fairness, where everybody should get access to health, we will not be able to realize our dream of universal health. I leave you with these words, and thank you very much for providing me this opportunity to share about it.
Thank you, sir, for such an inspiring address. Now I call upon Sri Ravindra Rao sir for his address. Ravindra Rao sir is a prominent industrialist and a technocrat. He completed his mechanical engineering from REC Warangal, and after that he started his industry. First in 1978, he started his industry on Yashoda vacuums, and then in 1985, Yashoda Special Metals. Both are prominent industries in their own way. But today, why is he here? Because he also started Yashoda Group of Hospitals, joining hands with his two brothers, Sri Surendra Rao sir and Devendra Rao sir. He joined hands with them and he started the big hospital called Yashoda Group of Hospitals. Today, it is one of the most prominent leaders in healthcare. It has a national presence, and with his visionary leadership and entrepreneur skills, he takes care of the internal controls, designs systems for efficient functioning and the delivery of healthcare services in Yashoda Group of Hospitals. And today he is among us to guide us on this momentous day. Thank you so much, sir, for your presence. By the way, he's also my first boss. He may not know, but my first employment was Yashoda.
Thank you for good introduction. I don't know whether I deserve it or not. Respected Swamiji and other dignitaries in the dais, and Dr. Surendra Reddy Garu and Dr. Rajshekar Chakravarti Garu, and sorry, I cannot recollect all other doctors' name. There are so many other doctors, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear children. I am Ravindra Rao. I head one of the largest medical hospitals group, and I head one of the largest medical hospital group, but I am not here to talk about that. I was being called to discuss about the medical institutions with values in the country. I always doubt many things, and particularly here I have doubted a values. What is that? There are so many value and values. I will illustrate. You will understand why I am stressing that word. I am now 74 years, hale and healthy, and when I take rounds, my colleagues walking with me, some of the colleagues walking with me feel difficult. My health secret is, do you want to know? It is the Ramakrishna mission. Yes, Swamiji, you will be wondering. Yes, I have not, this is the first time I am stepping into Ramakrishna mission. But in my colony, few people are there who come regularly to your discourses, and they are propagating their discourses. And the whole colony has a lot of effect in that colony. and I am one of them. And I want to tell one more thing also. Any time any person speak about health care, they just talk about the allopathic medical. Mostly it is allopathic medical they talk about. Even though allopathy medical takes a lion's share, but there are many other forms of medicine. There are many other forms of medicine. How I am keeping my good health, not due to allopathic medicine, but other medicine I will tell you. See, what is medicine? You should make person happy, hale and healthy. That is the medicine. What my institution does or my doctor does is, anybody come with a pain or anything, they relieve that pain and they treat, they send home happily, so that he will be happy in the home. I can say that Ramakrishna Mutt is treated and treating more patient than any of the hospital or all hospital put together. I am telling my secret of my health is daily regular exercise and meditation. I even daily too, every day I do more than half an hour meditation daily. That is my secret of health. That is my secret of happiness. And Swamiji, I request, this should be spread throughout India. And in India, many people are middle class and lower middle class or poor people, whatever you call it, to undergo a big treatment. But you can save many of them with your spirituality, meditations, and other form of contentment or happy in the life. I may be talking a little different from this subject, but it is a relevant subject. Everybody should know, people should know. What is value? Value, I always mean moral value, legal values, money for value, value for your time, value for your service. Yes, everything is a value. You are doing the greatest value to the society, greatest value to the nation. I request to increase your branches. I request to increase your branches and save people. That is my request. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir, for the message and sharing the secret of happiness in his personal life. So coming from the chairman of one of the biggest healthcare groups in Bhaginagari, Hyderabad, meditation, exercise. There is no shortcuts for us. Thank you so much, sir. Now I am going to call upon Dr. Krishna Mohan, sir. If you have gone to any one of these institutions, if you have gone to IISc, Indian Institute of Sciences, or if somebody has gone to IIT Kharagpur, or if somebody has gone to Cambridge University, even one of this we'll hold as a badge of pride for a long, long time. We have among us Dr. Krishna Mohan, a distinguished leader in the field of biotechnology. He is the executive director of Bharat Biotech. When I say Bharat Biotech, something should ring in your head. Today, we Indians have the pride of having our own indigenous vaccine. And we can go across the world and say that we created our own vaccine, a successful vaccine. And we have Dr. Krishna Mohan here. His impressive academic background includes a PhD in chemical physics from prestigious Indian Institute of Sciences, with the inspiration of Swami Vivekananda. It was established with the inspiration of Swami Vivekananda. An alumnus of renowned institutes like University of Cambridge and IIT Kharagpur. And also a visiting scientist at Indian Institute of Sciences under the Advanced Technology Program. Dr. Krishna Mohan's vast knowledge and global exposure have significantly contributed to his success in the biotech industry. At Bharat Biotech, he assumes a multifaceted role. Now, this is truly multifaceted, overseeing commercial, scientific affairs, manufacturing, supply chain, quality operations, all these aspects. With his exceptional leadership, Dr. Krishna Mohan has played a pivotal role in guiding Bharat Biotech's strides towards groundbreaking achievements in vaccine development and pharmaceutical innovations. Driven by a relentless passion for advanced public health, Dr. Krishna Mohan continues to spearhead Bharat Biotech's mission of creating innovative solutions to combat infectious disease and enhance human well-being. His remarkable contributions and vision for the future make him an inspiring figure in the biotech industry, leaving a lasting impact on the global healthcare landscape. A leader in the field of infectious diseases, Dr. Krishna Mohan is a recipient of Indian Institute of Science Distinguished Alumnus Award and serves as member of Scientific Advisory Board Coalition from Endemic Preparedness and Innovation. I invite Dr. Krishna Mohan now to share his valuable address. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, and my pranams to Swami Bodhanaji and all the Swamijis here, all the medical doctors. I feel myself quite privileged to be here because when I was a student in Calcutta, I grew up in Calcutta incidentally, I used to go to Ramakrishna Mutt in Gariahat. It's a very nice place. So I never thought that I'll be coming here to talk a few sentences about what I've done in my life, but it's truly a privilege. And I, of course, represent Bharat Biotech. I mean, he has given a long introduction, but it actually relates to the work of a whole lot of people who have been associated with us. The theme of today, I mean, I'll just try to be brief because I see that we are running late in our session. The theme of the topic which has been given is building institutions and values. And how is it related and how is it relevant to a private company? Let me make it clear that we are a profit-making company. But I think in spite of that, the areas we have chosen to work is in infectious diseases. We specialize in infectious diseases, starting, I mean, one of the first products that we worked on was very classical hepatitis B, but subsequently we moved on to working in the areas of polio, typhoid, diarrheal diseases, and a whole lot of those. And why is it, let me tell you, when we started, we were not even, we were a very small company, maybe less than 25 crores. Today we are several hundreds of crores or thousands of crores, but over the 20 years, we built this institution called Bharat Biotech. We are a fairly global name, which brings us pride, but what brings us more pride is whatever work we have done, we have not copied any other company's products. So whether we have done something like the rotavirus diarrheal vaccine, we compete with GSK or we compete with Merck, and there are some products which are completely unique. And today, we, from this very organization which exists in this city, we export to about 100-odd countries across the UNICEF regions. So what is unique in terms of value, this is something we decided upfront when we started this organization. One is, do not copy anybody else's products. So we always grew. We don't have hundreds of products like the generic pharma business. We have only about 15 products. But each of them is backed by tremendous amount of research. So that was one value system we said, as an intellectual honesty should be a major value when we build this institution, and we have stuck to that. We have never deviated from that path. And today, whether we go to, last week I was, for example, in Geneva at the World Health Organization. We were introducing about our new products, and they're quite keen on it. And of course, I'll talk about Covaxin a little bit later, but what we do is to take each infectious disease and work towards such a way that these are mostly neglected diseases of low and middle income countries, the poor countries in the world. So our products are more designed to the 150 odd countries which are in the lower income category, but not in the higher income category. You might have about 10 or 15 countries which are extremely rich. For example, one of the vaccines which we sell for $1 a dose typically in the international markets is the same vaccine, same quality, or even slightly not so matching in properties of what it does, is sold by other multinationals at $70 and $80 a dose. So while we are a profit-making company, that was not the motive which drove us. So intellectual honesty in terms of intellectual property rights, and don't only work for profit, but work so that you kind of spread the product all around the world. These are the two values which we have used, and they continue to be the guiding force. And today we work with a whole lot of academic institutions, both in the United States and my alma mater, where I grew up in Cambridge. Both these places we do a lot of work. The last thing I would like to say is about Covaxin. Yes, certainly it was a dream product, I would say, but something which we all gave up our life. I still remember the day. It was May 1st, May Day, which is normally, and of course, the whole country was on lockdown. We had special permissions to get the virus from National Institute of Virology through a special police protection which was given to us. We brought it to Hyderabad, and mind you, when we were exposing ourselves to the virus, we had no vaccine, we had no medicines, we had no cure available if one of us got the disease. That was the risk we took. Of course, we had some very special manufacturing facilities which have highest order of containment, and we were all suited. And the way it works is that once you wear the special suit with its own oxygen pack, you cannot go out of the facility for almost 6 hours. You don't even get a bio break. You are confined in that state for almost 6 to 8 hours. You are just working with that. And then when you come out, you have to take a shower and then only exit. And within 6 months, we were quite pleased that competing with Pfizer's and Moderna's, our vaccine was also launched. And today, we think that we have delivered to the world a much safer vaccine than the so-called mRNA vaccine. If one gets into the technical details of it, yesterday actually there was an international conference of cardiologists, and we were invited to give a special lecture, and we take a mRNA vaccine, which is like the Pfizer's and Moderna's. There were a lot of issues. I mean, I'm not trying to make it as a competitor issue, but purely as a medical issue. There are a lot of clots which have been observed in some of these. So the thrombocytopenia, thromboembolic diseases, they've all gone up in people, and even at age less than 30. Whereas with some of these more conventional platforms, we had done a much better job. So what I would suggest is, or what I would like to leave a message for a lot of young doctors here is that even in India, and please note, just on Covaxin, we have maybe about 20 odd international publications, including the journals like Lancet, which is one of the highest rated medical journals in the world. So we could do high quality research. We could save, of course, millions of lives in our country. And we were quite honored that the Honorable Prime Minister of India visited us. And he had only suggested one thing: the vaccine should not be only for Indians. So we have exported to several other countries. He had this theme called Vasudhaiva Kutumbam. So we had exported to a whole lot of, through the External Affairs Ministry, of course, we couldn't do all this without that. So clearly, we can do a lot of good things. While you might still be a profit-making company, I think the fundamental values about how to build an institution can still be the bedrock of building institutions or doing high-quality work. And today, I'm quite pleased that we have taken upon ourselves 3 different vaccines to work. One is cholera, the other one is malaria, and a third one is for tuberculosis. The problem for tuberculosis is that in spite of so many years, there is no good cure. You have mostly extremely drug-resistant tuberculosis forming in the world all over, and especially countries like India and Africa, compounded with other problems of HIV. So you need a high-quality vaccine, and we are partnering with a Spanish academic university, and we think that we will pretty soon be able to, and the Prime Minister has of course, his programs are always extremely ambitious. He has an NTB program for India, which is 2025, although WHO's end goal is 2030. So we hope to continue in this journey. We seek your blessings, and we seek your support. And thanks again for inviting us here to talk a few words about our company. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for reminding us about Atmanirbhar Bharat in medical services and as well as medicine to everyone, not only Indians, to all over the world, spreading the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam message. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to request our Adhyaksha Maharaj, Swami Bodhamananda ji, to felicitate our esteemed guests. Swami Satya. Yes. So I request Swamiji to felicitate Dr. Ravinder Rao sir. We are also presenting seed balls to our guests.
We are going out of the convention and not giving plants or bouquets, but Tirupati Laddu Prasadam called seed balls. These under the G20, C20 initiative of the Government of India. We collaborated with Mata Amrutandamayi Mutt, and our volunteers and Mata Amrutandamayi volunteers have rolled in their hands 28,000 seeds in 15 days. All the volunteers, and every seed ball has got a seed. So we are giving nearly 5 trees to Yashoda hospitals. 5 trees, not plant. And it may be, it's all mixed up together. It's a bouquet. It contains amla, guava, neem, chirbilva, Indian fig, tamarind, and Indian beech. These 5 or 6 varieties are put into the seeds, and they have to plant it in their respective gardens or enjoy guavas for the next generation. Now we will do the contribution to nature. Let us bring back greenery in Indian life. It's a big gift for them.
Thank you, Swamiji. We will definitely raise these trees and they will be watered by you. Thank you.
You send good govas to as prasadam to Sri Ramakrishna.
Next, I would like to request Swami Bodhamananda ji to felicitate Dr. Prashant Garg Garu. Next, we have Dr. Krishna Mohan Garu. And I request Maharaj to felicitate Swami Satyeshananda ji. And Swami Kripakarananda ji. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you, sir. Now we'll be going to the next part of our session. We'll have a panel discussion. Thank you, sir. We request you to have seats. Now we'll be moving forward to the next session where we'll have a panel discussion on medical services. I now request Dr. Vivek Modi, sir, to introduce the panel members as well as about the panel discussion.
So first of all, give a big round of applause for all of you. Sitting patiently here, Swamiji told Tirupati Laddu, some people started dreaming about it. Okay, you still have some time, okay. Everybody will get in the end. So now we have a very interesting panel discussion, and I have the opportunity to introduce Dr. Santosh Kumar. He would be leading the panel discussion, which is going to happen now. So Dr. Santosh Kumar is a prominent public healthcare professional. He's a member of National Medical Commission. He's a member of National Human Rights Commission. He's also CEO of Foot Soldiers for Health, and he's an advisor for National Program for Control of Blindness. It's called NPCB. He has done some really very, very significant work in the field of eye care and in the field of newborn children. So there are a few of the things I can mention because there are a lot of things, and Dr. Santosh has told me not to read the entire aspect, but just for the interest of the audience, I'll try to highlight few of the things. So he is country director of KAMBA. KAMBA is Cornea Andharv Andhatva Mukt Bharat Abhiyan. So it's again related to the eye and eye donation. Is also former All India Joint Secretary of Saksham. Santosh ji, aap kahan hai? Santosh ji, please join us on the stage. Please give a big round of applause for Dr. Santosh. He's joining. Okay. So Dr. Santosh is instrumental in setting up the first comprehensive newborn follow-up care clinic in Nilofer Hospital. And it has helped more than 25,000 newborns till date. He's also the founder director of Dhatri. Dhatri is providing mother's milk, pasteurized mother's milk, which is very, very important for some of the newborn babies to have that. So he also established that bank, milk bank. He's also one of the leads for a community eye care program called Saksham. He represented Saksham in WHO, in UNESCO, and in various other universities. I call upon other panel members as well, and the introduction to other panel members will be done by Dr. Santosh himself. So I call upon Dr. Bala Subramaniam sir, Pujya Swami Dayadhipanananda ji, Dr. Surendra Reddy sir, please join us. Achha. Dr. Ravindra Kohli and Dr. Smita Kohli. Dr. Ravindra Kohli, only Dr. Ravindra Kohli, I'm sorry. So now I hand over the session to Dr. Santosh. As the panelists come and join us on the dais, let's have a quick round of applause. Now there's a rule, wait. Next 10 seconds, I'll say start and I'll say stop. When I say start, you go to count. After that, I'll ask your score, okay? So this is a way to check how much energy do you have, how young you are. Are you all ready? Only 10 seconds, don't look here and there, just clap. And clap is one which makes sound, so it should not be like this. It should make sound, okay? 1, 2, 3, start. Stop. How many of you could clap more than 50? Some people are laughing. By the way, 50 is not impossible. Above 40? Good. Rest of the people, good morning to you. Wake up now, it's time. Over to you, Santoshji.
My humble pranams to Swamiji, Swami Bodhmayanandaji, and all the other Swamijis, and all the other divine souls who have gathered here. Many, many namaskars to all of you. First of all, wish you all a happy National Doctors' Day. And let's all remember the person who is behind this, our Dr. Bidhan Chandra Roy, Dr. B.C. Roy. So a big round of applause for Dr. B.C. Roy. One of the Swamijis who first spoke, and I think it was Swami Satya Yeshananda Maharaj, and he spoke about prayers. And from the ancient texts of this whole world, Bharat, which has given to the whole world, there's a wonderful prayer which talks about health. This could be written 5,000 years old, 10,000 years back. It says, Jivema Sharadah Shatam. Let's pray for 100 years, let's all see and see good. Pashyema Sharadah Shatam, Buddhyema Sharadah Shatam, Rohema Sharadah Shatam, Pushema Sharadah Shatam, Bhavema Sharadah Shatam, Bhuema Sharadah Shatam, Bhuyasi Sharadah Shatam. And in Rig Veda, which was written or probably spoken one disciple and guru to the other, one guru to the next guru, and it was transcended since thousands of years. We all spoke about so much about good health and well-being. And similarly, what we believe, and just now Dr. Vivek Modi was saying, we work on something called breastfeeding and milk banking and all of this. So we believe that the first doctor in this whole world is none other than the mother. Matru Devo Bhava. In Telugu, there is a beautiful poem sung by one of the great poets. Amma danamuna yanta kamma danamundira, amrutanike ame teepi nerpindira. She gave sweetness to even Amrut. And the first drop of medicine, first drop of vaccine, first drop of nutrition is nothing but the mother's milk. And the mother's milk is the most divine form of love that each one of us have got, and because of which we are all progressing. So we work a lot on this kind of a work, which is on breastfeeding and milk banking. Our foundation runs more than 10 milk banks across India, and we work on breastfeeding, improving breastfeeding rates across Bharat. For example, in a state like Telangana, where 99% of deliveries happen in hospitals, still the early breastfeeding rate is only 44%. So there is a huge need to improve breastfeeding in hospitals. But if you look at these percentages before hospitals came, the percentage of breastfeeding was very, very high. It was even 80%. So after having hospitals, have we improved health or have we destroyed health is a divine question that we all need to answer as doctors. Now, each one of us have the power to heal. Each one of us can be a doctor. Each one of us can heal ourselves, our family, and our society. And that's why Swami Bodhmayananda, Swamiji invited everyone, some teachers and some important institutes also, because the power of healing is very wide, not just with a few so-called doctors.
The power of healing is very, very large and it is wide. So, but then there are a few examples who are standing before us. Very, very many examples which inspire the so-called doctors who are getting graduated or who are going to get graduated, or probably some teachers who are going to inspire the new doctors. We all know, especially, we have some of the people before us. But just now, Dr. Prashant Garg, who was there in the previous panel, he belongs to a hospital called L.V. Prasad Eye Hospital. And L.V. Prasad Eye Hospital was founded by a great stalwart, Dr. G.N. Rao, who studied medicine abroad in US, who learned corneal surgeries, who came back to India, and he started the L.V. Prasad Eye Institute. Now, I am reminded of the Mahabharata and the Bharata, how this whole kingdom came to be called Bharatavarsha. Dr. G.N. Rao, after his retirement, did not give this whole hospital trust into the hands of his family, but he gave to the hands of Dr. Prashant Garg and a very professional team of succession. And that is the true nature of how to build an organization and an institution. Similarly, we have great people in Bharat, in India, who have inspired us in the medical fraternity. One such person is Dr. Govindappa Venkatasamy. Everyone called him Dr. V, who started the famous Aravind Eye Hospital chain at the age of 59 years after retirement in Madurai. And today, Aravind Eye Hospitals perform world's largest number of surgeries every day in the world. 3,000 surgeries are performed in Aravind Hospital every day. We have many other doctors. Dr. Dwarkanath Kotnis. Who is this Dwarkanath Kotnis? When China did not have enough doctors to treat during the World War II and World War I, and many of the Chinese were being killed, Dr. Dwarkanath Kotnis went and volunteered in China, and he died there, serving the people of China. And even today, if a Chinese ambassador comes to India, the first statue that he goes and worships is Dr. Dwarkanath Kotnis from Mumbai. These are the people who did seva. We have already, Dr. Balasubramaniam sir has mentioned about the three families who have dedicated their lives in Maharashtra. Dr. Abhay and Rani Bang. Both of them studied in Sevagram Hospital. They went to US. They studied in Johns Hopkins, and they adopted a remote village called Gadchiroli in Maharashtra. Similarly, Dr. Ashish and Dr. Kavita, ophthalmologists and general physician, who work very closely in Melghat, in Mahan Trust. Many other people have inspired us. Dr. M.C. Modi, who holds the Guinness record for doing 833 cataract surgeries in a single day. No other doctor in the world could do that. You understand the passion, the perseverance, the patience that this doctor had. He performed in his lifetime more than 2.5 lakh cataract surgeries free of cost in Karnataka, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Rayalaseema, and all the remote parts. Dr. Hanumappa Sudarshan, who is working for Soliga tribes in Karnataka. Dr. Ratan Chandra Kar, who is working for Jarawa tribes in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Including Dr. Perin Mullah Feroz, who started the first hospital for cerebral palsy autism in Mumbai. So many doctors, and the list is endless. And representing all these people amongst us today, on the stage, on the dais, are a couple of people who are very, very similar to this fold. All this huge list we cannot bring into this dais, but we brought some of those inspiring personalities who are with us today, representing all these doctors. And I would like to introduce none other than first Dr. Sudarshan Reddy sir. Dr. Sudarshan Reddy, Dr. Surendra Reddy sir. Dr. Surendra Reddy sir graduated from Osmania Medical College, and since last 55 years, he has been in the field of service to humanity, and he has inspired more than 200 doctors in Hyderabad itself to work in the communities, in tribal areas and rural areas, and is a huge devotee of Swami Vivekananda. And he including me, I am inspired by Dr. Surendra Reddy sir during our medical college days. So big round of applause for Dr. Surendra Reddy sir. And he is just very, very young. He is only 85 years, hale and healthy. He can do Surya Namaskars, he can do yoga, he can run like you and me, and probably more than you and me. So a big round of applause for Dr. Surendra Reddy sir. Similarly, we have Swami Dayadhipananda, who is amongst us. Swamiji has graduated from JJM Medical College in Karnataka, and after graduation he has took up the work of Seva, and Seva through Ramakrishna, the order, and since then he has been in the service of humanity. He has treated thousands and thousands of cases of interested in diabetes treatment, so he has treated thousands of cases, and even during COVID, he set up a 145-bed hospital for the service of COVID patients, and he also served during COVID in Haridwar, is what I have just now came to know. And since 11 years, he has been in the service of endocrinology and diabetic patients. A big round of applause for Swamiji, who is amongst us to share his thoughts. On the other side, I have none other than Dr. Ravindra Kolheji. Dr. Ravindra Kolheji needs no introduction. Dr. Ravindraji and Dr. Smitaji, both of them wife and husband, have dedicated their lives for the cause of humanity, tribals, and the poorest of the poor, the downtrodden, the lowest quintile of the society. 40 years back, after doing MBBS and MD, he decided to go and work in this area where, after getting down a bus on a tar road, he has to walk for 40 kilometers to reach that village. That is Baragad. And it's a very long story. Yesterday we were listening to Dr. Ravindra Kolheji and Madam Dr. Smita Kolheji. I am so fortunate, not just myself, but we all at the National Medical Commission. Madam Dr. Smitaji is a member in the National Medical Commission. So we talk a lot about many things, like should the doctors be inspired about large 5-star hospitals, or should we look at the need that is there, so much to serve. And as the Swamiji was saying, what should we do? I mean, service to humanity is the most important thing. And so that is the reason why Dr. Smita Kolheji and Dr. Ravindra Kolheji have received a Padma Shri Award in the year 2019 for their work. Tremendous work. Not just serving the patients and treating them, but advocacy, awareness. 1 rupee. I mean, yesterday I was hearing a story. When the Chief Minister Relief Fund came, they gave 1 rupee as a donation, and that 1 rupee donation they got a receipt, and they inspired thousands of tribals to basically donate. And 1 rupee by 2 lakh tribals is 2 lakh rupees, and that's what was needed for the CM Relief Fund, and this is how they motivated thousands and thousands of people. They charged 1 rupee from the patient also. And sometimes most of it could not be charged. Vaccine, a snake bite antivenom, when it costed 120 rupees, people did not have even 1 rupee to afford of antivenom, and 120 rupees had to be paid. That was how they treated the patients and people there, and not just in treatment, in agriculture, in education, in awareness. They have transformed the whole society in Melghat, in Bairaghat. So, Ravinderji, we are really, really blessed to have you amongst us. So this has a lock? Yeah. Similarly, we want to transform the medical education as part of National Medical Commission. Dr. Balasubramaniam, who has worked so much with the ministry very closely, and has talked about the number of medical seats that have increased. Previously, in 2014, we had hardly 45,000 seats, and it has increased to more than 1 lakh seats now. Yes, you can clap. Because some people have doubts. Sir, 1 lakh seats, will there be quality? So yes, there will be quality. The quality will be much better than the quality of Ukraine, Philippines, China. We want Indian students to study in India. The quality is being improved. There is a task force to improve the quality of medical education also. 30,000 postgraduate seats. Today we have more than 65,000 postgraduate seats. In National Medical Commission has done this along with the support of Ministry of Health. And quality of education, not just in terms of quality of teaching clinical things. It is about inspiring medical students to do service. So we are going to transform the medical education. Now all the medical students have been given a syllabus of learning yoga and other medical fields also for at least 15 days. We have also asked the students to adopt a few families as a part of the medical curriculum. The students will be posted to rural areas and village areas as a part of the medical curriculum. So a huge transformation is happening. Of course, Dr. Balasubramaniam can talk even a lot more on this. Sir is advisor, community process and comprehensive primary health care in Government of India, and the Navagram Developing Consulting,
We'll start the discussion.
a venture of old veterans of
Santosh, we'll
SYV.
start the discussion, then we'll go for
So now I'll start with Dr. Balasubramaniam, sir. A question to you on how the whole medical fraternity is being transformed and how the medical education is being transformed and how the unreached are being met through your Ayushman Bharat. These 2 points, if you can touch upon. And of course, any other aspect if you want to. Over to you.
Yeah. See, I think couple of things that I would like to highlight. Yes, medical education seats have already increased, and so are the number of health and wellness centers across the country. 2 things stand out apart from quantity, where we are talking about scale, saturation, and speed, is standards and quality. In fact, as per the approved cabinet note, it clearly says that 50% of all public health facilities in this country by 2026 should be nationally certified as quality. They have a national quality assurance system, which necessarily means today we can say we have close to 208,000 public health facilities emerging, though we are around 188 right now. It will be another 20,000 will get increased in the next 2 years. 50% of them means more than 110,000 facilities have to get nationally certified with quality assurance. The second thing that has been looked at is the Indian Public Health Standards, which has been revised in 2022. The standards not just look at infrastructure, it talks about service quality, it also talks about feedback from the people. This also has to achieve minimum 50% by 2026. Means all facilities right from the sub-health center level up to the super specialty hospital level, everything has to get into that level. The third element that I'm talking about is, for the first time, right at the sub-center level, Jana Arogya Samitis basically means there is a very symbolic differentiation that has been done from the erstwhile Rogi Kalyan Samitis. Because we always looked at as doctors only to look at Rogis and not people. So this symbolic renaming is to look at Jan in total, which means if you're well, we care. If you're ill, we care too. So it is no longer only a prescription of pills and excision of lumps. We want people to be healthy, and that is why whether it's an Eat Right campaign or a Fit India campaign has become integral part of the health. So that Jana Arogya Samitis that have been created has got 4 categories of people in each of the Samitis. One is the elected representatives who chair. It could be a Gram Pradhan or a Sarpanch. Then the second thing is all the government functionaries, not just from medical department, but different departments which influence health, which could be Women and Child Development Department, Youth and Sports Affairs Department, okay, even Jal Jeevan Mission and Water Services Department, because all of them influence health. Those government functionaries are the second category of people. The third category of people are the organized groups in the villages and in the city wards, which are self-help group members or Yuvak Mandals, who will also be part of the committee. The fourth category is a user of the facility who can share experiences on regular basis. So altogether, these 4 categories of people, altogether all these 4 category of people would actually be overseeing the services and the overall satisfaction levels at each of the facility. So the Jana Arogya Samiti, and for that to be monitored, there is an annual conditionality grant. There is marks even for that. Minimum 6 meetings and an audited report of their financial transaction, because they have been given 50,000 rupees at the sub-center level and to 1.75 lakhs at the primary health center level as an untied fund to manage. So this is another big change that has come in terms of engaging people, in terms of ensuring services, so that services no longer we should be complaining, we should be co-owning the facility. So the transformation in governance is from a provider or a facilitator to a partnering with the community. And that major differentiation has come into the system. With respect to education, I think the quality and quantity issues has been looked at in much this one. But more important, I would say, today we have knowledge, we have technology to reach the knowledge or information on timely basis or servicing. We are also there is a tremendous push onto the skill issues. But what I definitely want missions like Ramakrishna Mission and all the devotees over here to spread is, I think we require people to actually look at their attitude, because attitude defines your altitude, and that is where character building becomes more and more important. The Swamiji's principle of man-making and character building should become the essence of education system, and not merely knowledge, skills, element which has been currently too much focused. And this is happening because we also have become like that. Let us not differentiate between the policy maker and the people, because we the people become the policy makers. It's our attitude which is actually defining the policy attitude. So if we change our families, we change ourselves, I'm sure the policies will also change. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Balasubramanian ji. I think the final remarks of character making is the most important pivot on which we need to move forward. And now I request our Swami Dayadhipananda Maharaj ji to throw light on this point. Character building, purity, patience, perseverance, which are the traits of a good, great doctor. How do we bring this change and reform into the system. Please throw light, sir. Swamiji.
Thank you very much for the question. The theme for this national seminar is being centered around the question what doctor has asked. Purity, patience, perseverance, truthfulness, values, we have been hearing since morning. Yes, Swami Vivekananda rightly says, what we want is Western science coupled with Vedanta and Brahmacharya as guiding motto. Right? We are so-called modern doctors studying modern textbooks. According to the books, we want to treat the patient. When it is coupled with Vedanta, and at the same time, a person who is practicing has self-control. Today is Doctor's Day. It is a tribute to those doctors who have practiced medicine ethically. And Maharaj was telling in his talk, Swami Kripakarananda, we should be noble first, then doctors. So when we remember that, and also one more Swamiji, Swami Satyeshananda said, prayer. So already we have heard the answers from senior elders, monks and people who have established big institutions. To give little description on this, I am here. If you don't love your patients, don't go to hospital. Swami Kalyananandji Maharaj, who did not have a medical degree, who founded the Ramakrishna Mission Sevashram Kankal Haridwar, which is the 200-bedded charitable hospital, still, any person who reaches emergency, without asking for money, the patient is attended, without asking for anything else, whatever is required is being done. Can you imagine more than 300 type 1 diabetic children receiving free of cost treatment, leading a healthy and happy life? The moment we hear type 1 diabetic, we should remember any boy or girl less than 30 years of age whose body is not producing insulin, leading a happy and normal life, not just happy and normal life, but a role model like a yogi. I am telling the word yogi. That's what Ramakrishna Mission does. As rightly said by Dr. Balasubramaniam, Swami Vivekananda model. Atmano mokshartham jagadhitaya cha, already we have heard. So we should love our patient first. We should love our profession. Only with that pure love, not for me, but for others. Second thing, I am not alone, but I am working as a team. As long as there is I, there is illness. Replace that I with WEV, we reach to wellness. Journey from illness to wellness is not I, but we. We should have an organization which has this motto, Atmano Mokshartham Jagadhitayaja, and also as rightly given by Swami Vivekananda, twin ideals for the regeneration of modern India, renunciation and service. त्याग और सेवा, त्याग के बिना कभी सेवा नहीं हो सकता है. As we already heard, midnight I receive a call for emergency. Immediately I should be able to see what can I do, how can I contribute as a team leader and as a team member. When we have these things, all these things will automatically flow. Purity will flow through you. You will have patience to treat your patient, and you have a lot of perseverance to undergo all the odds that a doctor may face in emergency room, like receiving shoutings and all. If you have this, and the highest thing is be truthful, because God is seeing us every moment. We cannot cheat. We can cheat your patient once, twice, not the third time, because he doesn't come to you the third time. He will not give an opportunity. So if you are truthful, if you know these ideas and ideals, and if you have practiced, and the ultimate thing is, it should come through the education, medical education, soft skill, what we call. We have all the technical knowledge, but without this soft skills, भावना संवेदना, जब तक हमारे मन में भावना और संवेदना से हम पेशेंट से नहीं जुड़ेंगे, we will not be able to reach the goal. Again, remember Swami Kalyananda, he did not have a medical degree, he did not have money, but he had the blessings of Swami Vivekananda, and he had a goal set by Swami Vivekananda to serve the humanity. जो भी हरिद्वार में तीर्थ यात्रा के लिए जाते हैं, साधु हो गृहस्थ हो, उनका वहाँ इलाज उपचार होना चाहिए, औषधि से उपचार होना चाहिए, हमारा भावना से उनका संवेदना से जुड़ने का विचार होना चाहिए. It's not just giving medicine in the form of some tablet, whether it's Ayurveda or it is allopathic or it is some other pithy. It is with what attitude you are giving. Swamiji was saying, more than so many mothers prepared that seed ball and giving that with that bhavana. So he say, with this only we can achieve all this, and it should be coming in the medical textbook, and role model teachers who are sitting next to us, they are the people, and we should look at such role models to imbibe those ideas and ideals and practice. Once we practice, we just enjoy. It's happiness, and it's a privilege, as told by Swami Vivekananda, to serve the poor and needy, because the same Atman, the same God who is in you, he is in all. Thank you. Namaste.
धन्यवाद स्वामी जी. भावना और संवेदना ये दोनों शब्द गूंजते रहेंगे. एंड very, very important message for all of us. Dr. William Osler, who is a very famous Canadian physician, also said to serve the art of medicine as it should be served, one must love his fellow men. So without loving our people whom we are treating, I don't think we can go forward. So Swamiji, thank you so much for throwing light on this. May I now request the stalwart who has come all the way from Maharashtra, Amaravati district, and without drugs, without diagnostics, without devices and digital health, without anything, they are doctors with difference. They have demystified medicine, decentralized medicine, and they took it to the doorstep. So I request Dr. Ravindra Kolheji to share few thoughts and few experiences of his long journey. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I was born at Shegaon. Shegaon is a religious place, and there, since my childhood, I used to attend the religious discourse, pravachan and kirtan by various saints in Maharashtra region. What they taught me that in every individual there is God. He may be animal, he may be plant. Every living is a God. Sant Eknath, he was taking the water from Gangas to the Pindai of Rameshwara, and a donkey was lying in the Valvanta of Rajasthan. He was thirsty, and he poured that water not on the Pindi of Rameshwara, but in the mouth of that donkey, so to survive him. Like that, they taught me that whatever punya that you get is not by serving the statues of God. It is by serving the individual, helping the individual. When I went for my higher education, 11th, 12th, in my place, there was no 11th, 12th. When I was there, that was a town place. Up to 10th, I studied there. I got teachers who used to believe that if I go by cycle to school, I don't need chappal or slipper. They used to give that slipper. I will say that they have a daring to donate that slipper to the poor person who is going without a barefoot on the road. So that daring was with my teachers, and we as a student was observing them. This is the most important thing. I think that teacher should teach a student to give whatever he has to the needy person. When I went to Wardha, at Wardha, I came in contact with the two libraries. One is the Gandhian Thought Library, and second library is District Library. There I studied Gandhi and Vinoba. I studied Gandhi and Vinoba with very, जिसे हम कहते हैं कि स्वार्थी मतलबी हेतु से. Because I used to give speeches, I used to give participate in debates, and if you give references of Gandhi and Vinoba, the examiner gives 2 marks more, and you win the allocation, you win the debate. With that I started, but by reading those thoughts, when I was spoiled, I don't know. Their thoughts, where I started wearing khadi, and all the Antyodaya concept. Gandhi gave the concept of Antyodaya. That concept I developed, means I got. When I went to Government Medical College, Nagpur, there I came in contact with the Ramakrishna Mission Library. And in that library, I was a voracious reader of that library. With interest, I have told that if you refer Vivekananda, then again you get 2 marks more in competitions. वो सब मतलब की बात थी. In spite of that, I got few good things out of that. Vivekananda says that I will hold every educated youth responsible for the condition of the last person in the nation. To serve nation means serve the poor people of the nation. Those things I was attracted. And a group of students joined, all the medical students we had a group. Initially it was named as Sangharsh. When we continued that group and we went for post-graduation, the name of the group was changed from Sangharsh to Samvad. You try to understand the transformation in a group. Sangharsh means to fight for right, and Samvad means have a dialogue, have a exchange in a smooth way with whatever bad things we see. How to change those bad things? That is the thing. In that medical college, we got some teachers. One teacher, I remember, he was Professor Vankar. He told me exactly how to transform yourself. He told me that don't do the big decision. We were very much moved, our group was very much moved, and we were interested to join the philanthropic organization like Vivekananda Math, like Baba Amte movement, like various activities, those who are going on. But Vankar said, don't do that. You do one thing on your birthday, you take one small decision that I will take a bath for 1 year with cold water. I will not use blanket, howsoever cold atmosphere it may be. It will increase your strength. I think you are getting what I want to say. कि हर बर्थडे के दिन ऐसा सोचिए कि एक छोटा डिसीजन लो. वो छोटा डिसीजन लेने के बाद में उसको जब हम फॉलो करते हैं तो उस वक्त हमारी स्ट्रेंथ बढ़ते जाती है धीरे 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 धीरे. फिर हमारे एक टीचर थे डॉक्टर जाजू. ही सेड दैट इफ यू वांट टू गो टू विलेजेस then there will be no X-ray facility, then there will be no second opinion, there won't be a pathological analysis. So you must develop a clinical skill. to diagnose a patient and treat a patient on your own, because you will be the only person helping the patient there. Later on, I went for learning gynecology and obstetrics and pediatrics at Bombay. There I got a teachers, Dr. Mrs. Ahuja and Dr. Miss Advani. They have that, they taught me the attitude that gets up in midnight and goes and help the patient. David Morley wrote in his book Pediatric Priorities in Developing Countries. What is the role of doctor? Doctor's role is howsoever he may be थका हुआ, कितना भी थका हुआ होगा, रात को 2 बजे तक भी वो जगा हुआ होगा, और 3 बजे अगर उसको कॉल आता है कि देयर इज अ पेशेंट फॉर डिलीवरी who needs your help, so you must get up and go along with a call boy. That attitude you must develop. And Dr. Ahuja, yes, Dr. Ahuja taught me that attitude. And that helped me to stand in that Bairagad area and get the लोगों का एक्सेप्टेंस जो मिला लोगों का, वो एटीट्यूड से मिला जो डॉक्टर आहूजा मैडम ने सिखाया. मुझे लगता है कि वो सिखाना मेडिकल कॉलेजेस में बहुत ज़रूरी है.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर कोल्हे सर. आपका 40 साल का जो लंबा बैरागढ़ और मेलघाट में एक्सपीरियंस है, उसके लिए कम से कम आपके साथ 40 मिनट तो बैठना है. तो लंच के उपरांत हमारा बहुत बड़ा लंबा सेशन और सभी लोगों को भी प्रश्नोत्तर करने का एक अपॉर्चुनिटी रहेगा. और हमारे साथ और एक ऐसे शख्सियत हैं डॉक्टर सुरेंद्र रेड्डी सर. सर, अभी जो डॉक्टर रविंद्र कोल्हे सर ने बताया एटीट्यूड कैसा डेवलप होगा, ये हैबिट्स जो हमें स्ट्रेंथ देते हैं, छोटे छोटे हैबिट्स जैसे ठंडा पानी से स्नान करने का, ऐसे हैबिट्स और ऐसे एटीट्यूड डेवलप करने के लिए आपने बहुत सारे गांवों में जाके काम किया है और बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स को गांव में जाके काम करने के लिए इंस्पायर किया है ऑल योर लाइफ. सो वी रिक्वेस्ट यू टू शेयर योर थॉट्स एंड योर जर्नी ऑन character building, attitude building, and all those aspects, sir.
पूज्य स्वामी दयानंद जी, దయాదీపానంద జీ, పూజ్య స్వామి బోధమయానంద జీ, అన్ని స్వామీజీలు, ప్రియమైనటువంటి ఆత్మీయ బంధువులారా, నేను ఇప్పుడు చెప్పేది సంక్షిప్తంగా కొద్ది సమయంలోనే ఉంటుంది. ప్రధానంగా మన ఆరోగ్యాన్ని ఎట్లా కాపాడుకోవాలి, ఎట్లా కాపాడుకోవాలని కూడా కావాల్సినటువంటి కొన్ని ప్రశ్న రూపాలు ఉంటుంటవి. దానికి ఉత్తరాలు కూడా నేనే ఇస్తూనే ఉంటాను, ఎందుకంటే సమయం లేదు కాబట్టి ఏ రకం ఉంటుంటుంది. ఇద్దరు తారసిలు అనుకోండి, ఇద్దరు ఒకరికొకరు మొదటి ప్రశ్న వేసుకుంటారంటే మీరు బాగున్నారా అంటే మీరు బాగున్నారా అంటారు. సో మీరు బాగున్నారా అంటే బాగుండు అంటే అర్థమైంది. కనుక ఇది కూడా మనం పాఠశాలకు వెళ్ళినటువంటి బాలలను అడగవచ్చు. బాగా ఉండు అంటే దొడ్డు ఉండు కాదు, పొడు ఉండు కాదు, డబ్బు ఉండు కాదు. బాగా ఉండు అంటే ఇది ఆరోగ్యమే చెప్తారు. ఆరోగ్యం ఉండు అంటే ఆరోగ్యం అంటే ఏమి, ఇది పెద్ద ప్రశ్న. ఇంతసేపు మనం మాట్లాడుతున్నాం, ఆరోగ్యం చుట్టూ మాట్లాడుతున్నాం. ఆరోగ్యం అంటే ఏంది? కాబట్టి ఆరోగ్యం అంటే కూడా ఏమో చెప్తుంటారు, ఈ రోగాలు లేకపోవటం, ఆ రోగాలు లేకపోవటం కాదు, ఏది ఉండాలి అంటే అంతే చెప్పలేరు. కనుక చెప్పాలంటే దీనికి WHO ఏది డెఫినేషన్ ఇచ్చిందో, ఏ స్టేట్ ఆఫ్ వెల్ బీయింగ్ బాడీలీ, మెంటలీ, సోషలీ అండ్ స్పిరిచువలీ టూ, నాట్ mere absence ఆఫ్ ఎ డిసీజ్ ఆర్ ఇన్ఫర్మిటీ. కాబట్టి ఆ రోగం నొప్పి లేకపోవడం కాదు, పాజిటివ్ ఎట్లా ఉండాలి, ఆరోగ్యంగా ఉండాలి. సో ఆరోగ్యం అంటే ఏంటిది, ఎట్లా వస్తుంది? కాబట్టి ఆరోగ్యానికి కావాల్సిన ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ ఏంటివి, ఇది బాలలో కూడా తెలియటం అవసరం ఉంది. అందరికీ తెలుసు, అప్పుడే పుట్టిన శిశువుకి ఏం కావాలి అంటే ఏం చెప్తారు జవాబు? అందరు అంటారు, మీ జవాబు నేను సమయం లేదు కాబట్టి నేను అంటున్నాను అనమాట. అప్పుడే పుట్టిన శిశువుకి ఏం కావాలి అంటే పాలు, అమ్మ పాలు కాదుగా, ఆమె గాలి కావాలి. గాలి కడుపులో ఉన్నప్పుడు అన్నీ ఇచ్చింది తల్లి, ఇక బయటకు రాగానే గాలి కట్ అయిపోయింది, గాలి కావాలి, గాలి కావాలని అనుకుని ఏం చేస్తారంటే బిగ్గా ఏడుస్తారు. ఇక ఫిలాసఫీ చెప్తారు, ఎందుకు ఏడుస్తాడు అంటే ఇంకేమో చెప్తారు ఇదంతా. కాబట్టి ఆ రకంగా అక్కడి నుంచి ప్రారంభమవుతుంది. కాబట్టి గాలి కావాలా, మంచి గాలి కావాలా, మంచి గాలి కావాలి. ఎందుకంటే మంచికి ఏదో ఉంది కొద్ది అర్థం. సో మంచి గాలి, మంచి నీరు, మంచి ఆహారం, మంచి వ్యాయామం, మంచి విశ్రాంతి, ఇవైతే అందరికీ అవసరమే, ఏ వయసు వచ్చినా. కాబట్టి ఈ 5 కాక ఇంకేం కావాలి, ఇంకేం కావాలి? గాలి ఉంది, నీరు ఉంది, ఆహారం ఉంది, వ్యాయామం ఉంది, అన్నీ ఉన్నాయి. కనుక మనం కూడా చెప్పాడు, ఎందుకంటే సమయం లేదు కాబట్టి నేను చెప్తున్నా. కాబట్టి ఇట్ ఈజ్ సకారాత్మక ఆలోచన, పాజిటివ్ థింకింగ్. కాబట్టి పాజిటివ్ థింకింగ్, నెగటివ్ థింకింగ్ కూడా తేడా ఏంటిది, ఉన్న గొప్పతనం ఏంది? నేను మీకు కొంత సంకేతాలు ఇస్తా, మిమ్మల్ని మీరే చెప్పాల్సిన జవాబు ఉండే, కానీ సమయం లేదు కాబట్టి చెప్తున్నా అనమాట. నేను 3 సంకేతాలు ఇస్తా, బహుశా మీకు అర్థమవుతుంటుంది, అందరికీ అర్థమై ఉంటుంటుంది. కాదు కాదు కాదు, ఇది కాదు, ఈ చెడు వినకు, చెడు చూడకు, చెడు మాట్లాడకు కాదు, మంచి విను, మంచి చూడు, మంచి మాట్లాడు, మంచి 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 అను, మంచి తిను, మంచిగా మను. కాబట్టి మంచి 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 మంచి, డూస్ ఫస్ట్, డోంట్స్ నెక్స్ట్. కాబట్టి ఈ రకంగా పిల్లలకి పాజిటివ్గా ఉండేటువంటి ఆలోచన మనం కలిగిద్దాం. ఈ రకంగా మంచి ఆరోగ్యం, మంచి విద్య, ఇది మనకు కావాల్సినటువంటి దీని కొరకై ఈ దిశలో ఉంటేనే మనం ఈ రకంగా ఉంటాం. ఈ దిశలో ఉండేటువంటి దీని కొరకై మనం ఈ దీనికి మెడిసిన్ పుస్తకాలు ఉంది. మెడిసిన్ పుస్తకాలు అంటే కాదు, పుస్తకాలు చాలా ఉన్నాయి, 10-12 సబ్జెక్టులు ఉంటాయి. అందరూ తక్కువ పట్టించుకొని శ్రద్ధ చూపంది ఏంటంటే ప్రివెంటివ్ మెడిసిన్. కానీ ప్రివెన్షన్ ఈజ్ ద బెస్ట్ ఇది అంటుంటారు అన్నమాట. కాబట్టి దీంట్లో ప్రివెంటివ్ మెడిసిన్ లోపల ఉండేటువంటి దీంట్ లోపల మనం ముఖ్యంగా ఏదైతే మనకు కావాల్సినటువంటిది ఉందో దీన్ని బ్రెయిన్ గ్రోత్ చార్ట్ ఉంటుంది, ఇది ఒక్కటి చాలా ముఖ్యమైనది చెప్పి నేను ఊరుకుంటాను. మన పెరుగుదల యొక్క గ్రాఫ్ ఇస్తుంటా అంటే 20 ఏళ్లకు అందరి పెరుగుదల పూర్తయితే పెరుగుదల 3 రకాలు ఉంటుంది: బ్రెయిన్ గ్రోత్, బాడీ గ్రోత్, సెక్స్ గ్రోత్. అయితే చాలామందికి తెలియదు ఏంటంటే బ్రెయిన్ గ్రోత్ 5-6 ఏళ్ళకే పూర్తి అవుతుంది, అంటే ఇట్ బికమ్స్ కంప్యూటర్. బ్రెయిన్ కణాలు అవుతున్నాయో అవి విభజన కావు, శరీరంలో ఉండే అన్ని కణాలు విభజన అవుతాయి, ఎముకలు, కండరాలు, నరాలు, రక్తం, సరే. కనుక బ్రెయిన్ సెల్ పుట్టినప్పుడు ఎన్ని ఉంటాయో చనిపోయినాక అంతే ఉంటుంటాయి. కాబట్టి ఆ దశ కంప్యూటర్ అయినటువంటిది ఆ వయసును కాబట్టాను కొరకై అది కంప్యూటర్ కాబట్టి అప్పుడు మనం ఫీడ్ చేయాలి. ఆ రకంగా 20 ఏళ్లకు అన్ని రకాల పెరుగుదల పూర్తవుతాయి, 10-12 ఏళ్ళకి ఉంటుంటుంది, 13-14 ఏళ్ళకు సెక్స్ గ్రోత్ వస్తుంది, ఇవన్నీ తెలుసు. కాబట్టి ఈ గ్రోత్ దీన్ని కాపాడటానికి కొరకై మనం ఏ జాగ్రత్త పడాలో పాఠశాల పాఠశాల పాఠశాల. చివరిగా ఏమి కావాలి? అమ్మ ఒడి మొదటి బడి, అమ్మ ఒడి వీధి బడి, దేవుని గుడి, రైతు మడి, సరుకుల అంగడి, ఇంకా గ్రామ చావడి. ఇవన్నీ కూడా మంచి ఆరోగ్యంతో, మంచి నడవడితో, మంచి విద్యతో ఉండాల్సిందనమాట. ఆ రకంగా చేయడంతో ఆరోగ్యమైనటువంటి భారత్ అవుతుంది. ఈ స్వామీజీలందరికీ నమస్కారంతో ఈ రకంగా ప్రేరణ ఏదైతే కలిగినటువంటిది అవుతుందో మళ్ళీ కలుద్దాం. దీన్ని ఈ రకంగా చదవండి. ధన్యవాద్. హరి ఓం.
ధన్యవాదాలు డాక్టర్ సురేందర్ రెడ్డి గారు.
స్వామి, నా సహభాగిని, నాతోటి కష్టసుఖాలు పంచుకున్నటువంటి ఆమె ఇక్కడ ఉంది, సౌభాగ్యత నీరజదేవి. అనేక స్కూళ్ళకి, అనేక మెడికల్ కాలేజీలు ఏంది, ఉస్మానియా మెడికల్ కాలేజీలో ఎథికల్ కమిటీ మెంబర్గా, లే పర్సన్గా ఆమె ఉంది అక్కడ.
నేను వారినే పరిచయం చేయబోతున్నాను. both the doctors, the success factor has been their better halves. నీరజ అమ్మగారు ఎవరైతే డాక్టర్ సురేందర్ రెడ్డి గారు ఎన్ని గ్రామాలకు వెళ్ళారో అన్ని గ్రామాలకి వారు వెళ్ళారు, ఎన్ని మెడికల్ కాలేజెస్కి వెళ్ళారో అన్ని మెడికల్ కాలేజెస్కి వెళ్ళారు, అంతమంది స్టూడెంట్స్ని ఆయన ఇన్స్పైర్ చేశారు, ఆవిడ కూడా ఇన్స్పైర్ చేశారు. సో బిగ్ రౌండ్ ఆఫ్ అప్లాస్. సిమిలర్లీ డాక్టర్ రవీంద్ర కొల్హేజీ సక్సెస్ అవడానికి కారణం డాక్టర్ స్మితా కొల్హేజీ. ఆవిడ ఎక్కడున్నారో మరి, ఆవిడ అసలు మామూలుగా ఒక చిన్న కాటన్ చీర వేసుకొని ఇక్కడెక్కడో కనబడుతూ ఉంటారు, కనబడితే చూడండి. ఆవిడ హోమియోపతి ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తూ మొదలుపెట్టినప్పుడు 10,000 rupees per month she used to earn when a government doctor used to get 2,000 rupees. అప్పుడు ఆవిడ మొత్తం ప్రాక్టీస్ వదిలేసి నెలకి ఈయన ఒప్పందం పెట్టారు. హీ మేడ్ అ ప్యాక్ట్ that our monthly expense should be only 400 rupees. So she left everything and came and married this person. And another agreement, marriage should be with expense of only 5 rupees registration fee. So ఆ విధంగా వీళ్ళిద్దరూ ఎంత ఆదర్శపూరితమైన జీవితాలు మనకి ఇన్స్పిరేషను. సో ఈరోజు ఈ ప్యానెల్ డిస్కషన్ ఈజ్ అబౌట్ మంచి మనుషులు, మంచి మనసులు, మంచి ఆలోచనలు, ఏ విధంగా మనం డాక్టర్స్ అందరం మంచి వాళ్ళ మధ్యలో గడుపుతూ ఒక మంచి పని చేయడానికి ఇది ఇన్స్పైరింగ్. అండ్ ఈ మంచి పని ఇలా చేస్తే బాగుంటుంది, డాక్టర్స్ అందరినీ ఇన్స్పైర్ చేస్తే బాగుంటుంది అని ఆలోచించిన స్వామి బోధమయానంద్ గారికి మరొకసారి కృతజ్ఞతలు తెలియజేస్తున్నాం. ధన్యవాదాలు. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్.
Thank you, sir. It was a wonderful panel discussion. I would now request Swami Bodhamayanandaji, Adhyaksha Ramakrishna Math, to felicitate our panel members. First, I request Dr. Surendra Reddy, sir, to please accept our felicitation. Dr. Santosh Garu, our moderator of today's panel. Dr. Ravindra Khole, sir. Dr. Balasubramaniam Garu. And Swami Dayadeepanandaji. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Maharaj. So here we'll be concluding our second session. So we'll conclude it. We'll conclude this session by Shanti Mantra. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you, sir. We request volunteers to guide our guests for lunch. Prasadam.
All the doctors who have come from different hospitals are on stage, etc. Guests. Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence Shetlo, separate arrangement is there for doctors, students and others. Please follow the instructions from the volunteer.
We request everyone to please settle down for the quick announcements. So the next session will be starting by 2:40. So I request everyone to come back to the same hall by 2:40 after your prasadam distribution. I request all the ladies to move from the left side of the door, that is my left and your right.